We're on.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome. This is a very much impromptu live podcast. This is episode 264. And we're joined by Trevor John, me and our Chris tonight. Hi, Trev.
Hi,
Good evening.
Hello, Trevor.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's gone loud again, your mic again, Chris.
Oh my God.
AI. Yeah, I know. It's the AI, isn't it? I think.
Is it because I moved it too close? Oh.
No. It's just changed since you've come back in on it, Trevor. Is it me?
It's gone a bit Barry White.
Barry White's good. If it sounds Barry White, that's all right. That's how it should sound. Is that
better?
The
volume's a bit high, yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better, yeah. It's resetting itself for some reason. Anyway,
I can turn it down instantly.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that theme tune. All them seals clapping. Demented seals, I think Richard D. Hall used to call them, clapping outside St. Thomas's Hospital, where the British arm of MK Ultra was actually run out of that. How fitting that was, Trev. How fitting.
Yeah. Yeah, marvellous. I've got a called It's Beginning to Seem a Lot Like North Korea. To the tune of It's Beginning to seem a lot like Christmas.
No, but they're evil dictators.
People, nothing's really real and people clap like seals. Yeah.
Did you see that? When you see videos like that, it does take you back to those days, that hot march that people stood outside their houses clapping like twats.
Which we refuse to forget.
Yes. I can't forget, Chris.
No. Well, why should we? Most mental thing that had ever happened in all of our lives.
I was watching a YouTube video of this fella. Well, it popped up on my thing. I forgot I'd watched it, and I'd put a comment saying that aged well. And this American guy, and he was taking the piss out of is it Sherry Tenpenny Fire, the doctor, the
Sherry, who was speaking out, yeah.
And in 2023, she was saying by the end of this year, we will all know someone who's died of the big C or something else, blah, blah, blah. You know, they'll probably know about half a dozen people, she was saying. Yeah. And this guy was taking piss out of saying, she didn't even know what she's talking about. She's not a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And loads of people put comments, I just put that aged well. And a few people put back up. And this guy's such a knob. And now I looked at what he's talking about now, and he's just on about Trump and, just all the same stuff. But I thought, how embarrassing to ridicule that woman for coming up with a theory that came into fruition, and he's just trying to, I don't know, like smarmy, like taking the piss out of her. I just thought it was.
But they can't see it's come true. That's the trouble.
No,
I mean, you're talking about my family here.
Yeah, that was 2023, and where are we now? I mean, he's doubled what she talked about. I think it's. Everyone.
I mean, my mum got another flu jab, but against my wishes, and I've noticed a decline since then. And I pointed this out to people in my family, and they shows how blinkered I am.
Right.
That I think it's a jab.
Right.
The irony.
I hear the same thing. Yeah, I hear the same stuff. Did you get that?
Sorry, Chris. You must be allowed to at least question it, surely by now. You know.
Think
you would think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's the biggest astounding cover-up we've ever witnessed.
But except that you're dealing with people that have encouraged their children to get it, and their aging mum, and so to accept that they've caused that kind of harm. I mean, I keep telling her I don't blame her because it's the big psyop in history, isn't it? So I don't blame her.
Psyop with no budget, with an endless budget,
bottomless pit of budget. And you think about it, trillions of dollars all over the world was spent to basically mind control everybody outside a mind control hospital.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. Dom, did you get that picture I sent you? Could you flash it up? That one, that mask invention? Did you see it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did a drawing of my new. I'm going to patent this design for a mask. Because I've seen quite a few people running around in them these days.
Not this particular one.
Not this particular one. I think it's a great idea, though, because it can sanitize and it can spray you in a sanitized mist, but then you can also sanitize your hands at the same time.
It just has to be in the shape of a phallic symbol.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't find another design other than to put what looks
You
like a
might have
penis.
to send it me again, Chris. I don't know where I've put it.
All right, I'll send it to you.
There was an artist friend of mine on Facebook who I was chatting a lot over the nonsense, and we had a whole series of stupid, like he was kind of masking tape a carrot to his nose, you know, or I'd have a calendar or paper pants. We had a whole series of stupid masks.
I remember
that were no more stupid than the ones that they were pushing.
I always remember in the middle of it all, I remember Mike Williams going, I'm going to wear a mask. From now on, I've decided I'm going to wear it. And he pulled out a big rubber, like World War II one.
I was really keen to go into the supermarket in a full kind of
bubble outfit,
flippers, snorkel, you know, wearing that
Michelin Man outfit.
Yeah, no, I really want to be filmed going around the supermarket wearing flippers and a snorkel and a mask. That would have been very funny, and I really regret not doing it.
Yeah, I regret a few things, like not, you know, because just down by me, there's the sign in the tarmac, and I always meant to go down with some red spray paint, cover it up, put a pair of bollocks on it or something.
Yeah.
And I never did. It's still there. It's still there. It's still there. But I think I missed the moment. I think, you know.
Well, talking of bollocks, my friend Nadine, who might be watching, sent a thing about biophobia.
Right.
I've never heard
which I have no idea about.
I've never
so
heard of
biophobia is a thing, apparently. So they say, which is about people afraid of nature.
Right.
Have you ever heard anything as ridiculous as that?
I've heard a few things recently, Trev, to be fair.
Well, that's true.
That's the sad part about it, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go, Trev.
Oh, right.
Just before you continue, that's my design for a new mask. So
Is it a dickhead?
Yeah. But the top bit where the end of the penis shape is, you can shake it or squeeze it and it sends out sanitizer.
Viruses.
Yeah. No, that's to stop the viruses. It just sends out sanitizer. Mask Master B2000, I'm going to call it.
How come it's not called? How come it's not priced at £6.66, Chris?
I know, I thought that. Yeah, no, I should have done that actually. Oh,
yeah, you missed
£3.33.
Yeah.
But
it looks marvelous.
It's all right, isn't it?
You're gonna make $1 million.
Get it painted.
I think you'd probably get a government PPE contract for that, Chris. If you just ring
again, I might have missed the boat though.
Yeah, maybe you have
that one. But the only reason I did it, I've seen a few people knocking around in them again last month or so.
The amount of that PPE, right? That I saw when I've been writing this book, the amount of these politicians that were in power that had friends that got government contracts. Priti Patel, or Priti Petals as I call her, Priti Petals had a friend who got £175 million contract. He had a healthcare company, and she was an advisor for it at one point, I do believe, if I'm got that right. And he got a contract from the government to supply PPE. I mean, that Michelle Moore thing. That I'm not saying that's not. They didn't scam it wasn't a scam, because all of it's a scam. But she's the tip of the eye. She's nothing.
Yeah, that was a distraction fight. That's what always happens, isn't it?
Yeah. So much of that, weren't there? People giving their family and friends that ridiculous contracts. That I wrote a song about that actually, called something like "Nothing to See Here."
Trev, go back to your, what was it? Biophobia.
Yeah. Phobia. Here you go. Biophobia is the fear or aversion to nature and the natural world, which can lead to stress, discomfort when outdoors. It's a growing phenomenon, can negatively impact mental health and conservation efforts, as it may cause to avoid natural spaces altogether.
You know
how ridiculous.
Well, it is ridiculous, but you can see where the satanic think tank comes in there and thinks, if we fire this out and plant it in people's heads, then they'll start going, "Oh no, I've got biophobia. Actually, I don't really like going out."
No,
it's exactly what happens, isn't it?
And then there's this other. Some people have feelings of dislike or disgust towards animals and nature. The phenomenon has been somewhat overlooked in the studies of human nature relationships. And then there's a subtitle in bold. Does nature include humans? The answer may surprise you.
Well, because of
So
what
anything organic.
well, not only that, because of what we look at, you know, the simulation type stuff and all the other, then we probably don't belong here.
Well, but I mean, it's just a move. They're trying to move everybody away from nature the whole time. But I mean, from the calendar, you know, I mean, it's funny how many people have said this year, "Happy Fate," because a lot of people have realised that the idea of celebrating the new year in the middle of winter is a load of bollocks, and that we really should be doing it when the buds are coming up, you know, after the March equinox.
I mean, this is pretty mainstream. It's on PubMed.
Yeah.
You know, biophobia. Yeah, it's on PubMed.
So, but it's just amazing that none of us have ever heard it before, and then someone just puts it out into the ether, and now everyone's it's a talking point, isn't it?
Psyop, isn't it?
And then you will start getting, and then you'll start getting people down the line going, "We've got biophobia," you know,
and they're blamed on climate change.
Yeah. And oh no, exactly. Yeah, I mean, but they've moved people away from nature, right? They've done it with the changing the notes at 432 hertz for the note A to 440, and you can actually see, if you look at the cymatics of that 432 hertz gives a really beautiful shape if you put a hand on a flat surface and then play the resonance through it.
I've never done it.
Beautiful.
I've seen it.
You get beautiful shapes. If 440 is all over the place, it's not. It's kind of just nothing in particular. It's kind of jangly. Yeah. But so that they just want us to be more mechanical, and things moving to digital away from analog. You know, it's a constant thing, and so it's just the latest kind of cherry on the cake of that gaslighting.
Even like when you think of an old mobile phone, even when they became, you know, before the app, when everything was analog, it was so easy just to move files around, even on your computer. Now you need an app to do anything, don't you? It used to be so easy just to move stuff, and by trying to simplify everything, they've just overcomplicated everything as per normal.
I mean, I was trying to sign into something, and you have to get they have to send you a code, and you have to have a backup email, and they want your mother's maiden and your inside leg measurement to do anything these days.
Another example of that, actually, we got a new kitchen put in this summer, and we've got a new fridge and a new freezer, and they're both linkable to your phone. Why do you need to link a fridge or a freezer to your phone? Just turn the thing on. One freezers, one fridges. That's it. There's no need to link it to anything, as I haven't linked it to anything. But it's actually quite difficult to turn it up and down. And also we've got one of those induction hobs. We haven't got gas. We haven't got a gas stove. But bloody hell, we had one that had knobs on it, and it just turned up and down before. And now we've got this new, and it's just, you turn it on, deet, to go up and down. And you just go, for fuck's sake. How can they make them more difficult than they used to be?
I hate when robots start telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Like, even if you've left the fridge door open and it starts bleeping at you.
Well, now all modern cars have these things. If you go over the speed limit, it beeps at you. If you, what else? Everything beeps at you with different sounds now. And total pointless, you know.
You ain't got an electric car, Fatty. If you have an electric car, it's like you might as well be driving an iPad down the road. Everything's, I mean,
well, it's hijackable as well, isn't it? It's hackable. Then it's just a computer on wheels.
We've got to upgrade it, haven't you?
That's
the download upgrades for it.
Sorry, Chris.
No, I'm going to say a beep for a seatbelt or your door's open. Fair enough. You know, it's still not massively necessary, though, is it?
I hate the seatbelt beep. I want to be able to drive without a seatbelt on. Who gives a shit? Who cares?
Well, we know
the business is.
We know the person that told us it's against law doesn't care about us. So
yeah. But the other side of that, like turning a knob up and down thing, because I was in India and in this hut, I'd tried to, can't remember, I was trying to get a ticket. And this guy saw me struggling with the person behind the counter, and so he came up behind me and kind of told them to give me a ticket, stop mucking around, and then he took me back to his hut where he was with his family, and his wife was cooking over an open stove, a fire, and this pot started boiling over, and she moved a twig, and it just started simmering.
What, moved a twig from under it, you mean?
Yeah. And it was just like turning down the gas.
But more enjoyable.
Those skills that people have.
Yeah.
You know, we've lost those kind of skills, but it was literally like turning the regolo down from 5 to...
And you don't have to be, let's just say, some hippie, do you, in a commune thinking of it. These are skills that people had. I was speaking to...
She was so used to lighting a fire that, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So she did it that many times. We used to be able to do a fire, didn't we? Was it up on fire?
Yeah.
My dad used to shove his hand in and just move logs around.
Yeah, he did. But we were lighting fires. I'm sure you were, Trevor. I'm sure many people in...
Yeah,
we were lighting... We had a coal fire. We had an Aga type of fire. It wasn't an Aga, but it was Franco-Belge, I think it was. But it was an Aga type of fire. And we used to come home from school and physically chop wood up and light the fire and get it warm. If we didn't, we got bollocked.
Yeah. If you'd been at home and everyone, on your own, and you didn't light the fire, it was a massive drama.
But you might have been 12.
Yeah. You were younger at the fire.
Yeah, that's the level of...
we moved into the house when I was 6, and you'd have been 10.
Yeah.
And I think we pretty much started straight away.
I also knew, obviously, you shut the doors and it had glass. They had like little glass strips.
I know what you're going to say. Put paper over it.
Put paper over it so it drew the fire.
Oh, yeah.
And, you knew all that type of stuff. And then you put coal on after a while and what have you. These were all things I know it's something and nothing that, but these were all things you learned how to do. I'm not scared of fire,
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sure my son now, who's 14, or your daughter, Chris, will be terrified if you lit fire in front of them.
Well, they'd actually love it because I've been camping.
Oh, they'd love it, but they'd be terrified because
they don't know how to manoeuvre it about like we would.
But
I have to do that here, chop wood. And
I'd love to have an open fire. I ain't got one.
Yeah.
On a similar note, we're designing some new supplements, some herbs for different things, and we're talking to the guy who helps me. He's a 4th generation master herbalist. And his dad still lives out in the wild, believe it or not. He lives out in the northeast, foraging, and he's got a house in the middle of the woods and stuff like that. He's a fantastic character, one of those characters. But I said to him, "Can you ask your dad what this is going to be specifically for hemorrhoids? Is this, as people of our age suffer with lots of different problems? One of them is that." And he came back with this book that were written, I don't know how many years ago. I said, have a look in this book, and you need to be putting this in it and that in it, and this is the amount in it. And he was just reeling this stuff off his head that he's known about, that's been passed from his grandma and his great granddad, because they knew there'd have been witches going back in 1700 or whatever, having to live in the woods on their own like he is now. That's all gone because of
life skills,
big pharma. And the Rockefellers, even though people like Sausage Fingers still uses all these alternative therapies.
Proper life skills out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's beyond life. That's beyond life skill. I think that, Chris, isn't it? That's
but they have a homeopath, don't they? They use homeopaths all the way through.
Yeah.
And I learned a life skill over an open. When I was in the Scouts, it's like don't put a tin of baked beans on a fire and think it's going to warm up and it
explodes.
Because then as soon as you puncture it, you get a fountain of scalding hot baked beans that goes over everywhere.
Yeah.
Somebody said I'll make piles out of that product.
You what?
Somebody said I'll make piles out of that product.
Oh, right.
I don't know if you want to look at it, Fire, but I sent you that video I was just talking about. I don't know if you want to look at it after, if you don't want.
It's going to be difficult to download.
No, don't worry about it. That one of that stupid guys shagging off Sherry 10 penny.
Right. I have actually got some videos. I'm going to play,
about 5 minutes
play
long.
one. Do you want me to play that one of George Martin's son?
Oh, yeah.
What made you want to play? Send me that one. Have you been watching some of the stuff that we've done with Matt? Seriously?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, Matt, Sergio, and Quaid, Mark Williams.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about
Mark
that. I'll
Williams.
play this,
Yeah.
and then we'll have a discussion about it. It's only 50 seconds long.
Yeah.
My father was forced to sign the Beatles by the managing director of EMI, who wanted to punish him because he was having an affair with his secretary, and the chairman of EMI was a very staunch Catholic and disapproved. My father was on the point of being fired. When the Beatles so-called auditioned for EMI, for Parlophone, they had already been signed. He had to work with them, and he didn't want to. My whole research into my father's life and the Beatles, it deals with my experience of black magic. That's why it's called Blackbird, in my family. So there is a lot of mystery.
I better unmute us here. Sorry,
We're all muted.
yeah. The actual that end part there, that actual black magic part.
Yeah, what's that?
That is the most interesting part of that. I'm looking because
has he written a book, that fella?
Well, no. I tell you what it goes into. Yeah, he's written a book, Chris. It sounds like, but what it goes into that is Dr. Richard Asher, right? I don't know if you heard me and Matt talking about it. Matt found this website, a blog, where somebody had written in, basically saying that Richard Asher and two other people were working with William Sargent, basically torturing children, and he was one of the children this guy wrote in. And he said Dr. Richard Asher and the other guys had special powers, occult powers, and William Sargent didn't. And bear in mind that then George Martin's part of the Beatles, and his son's talking about how the family was into black magic. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing what Matt thinks about that, and Sergio Quay.
Doesn't he sound like his dad? He sounds.
I think he's the older one, and he was from George's first marriage, and he got left nothing in the will. Apparently, I think there was some sort of shenanigans going on.
Maybe that's why he's
talking
about
a book about it and looking into it. Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on him having to manage the Beatles because he was having an affair with his boss's secretary?
Well, that's the official story. I mean, it just shows that there was some kind of manipulation.
Yes.
I mean, even if it was just the fact that he was his boss's secretary, so that gave them a way of manipulating him, he was still related. So there's some hidden hand going on there.
Yeah. And also,
otherwise, why would he need to do it? You know?
Yeah. If there was such a good band, he wouldn't. No, he'd just do it, wouldn't
he? Yeah.
It's a strange punishment, isn't it?
Yeah. Not much of one, really.
You know, I've just written about him in my book, not because it's about that, but it's about a guy called Derry Irvine, who was a barrister. He's got his own chambers in London, and he's the barrister that Tony Blair supposedly trained under. Tony Blair got a second-class degree, and bear in mind this is a big hit in London barrister company, and he was basically told he had to take Blair on, or it seems like he was told he had to take Blair on, and he was apparently sleeping with Sherry Booth as well. So the lady from the Two Fat Ladies, cook Clarissa Dickinson Wright said, who
was the barrister?
The barrister was sleeping with Sherry Booth.
Having
an affair with Sherry Booth. So the story resonated where he had to take on someone he didn't actually want to manage. Because if you were a big hitting barrister, right, with his own chambers, you wouldn't take somebody on with a second-class degree. You'd take somebody on with a first-class degree.
Yeah,
because you'd have the choice of the best people leaving Oxford or Cambridge at that particular point. And all his friends were all intelligence assets. Were this Derry divide? And I would say that that's the same sort of story as what George Martin is. He's working for EMI, which is a military record label or company. But anyway,
yeah.
Have you mentioned this, Dom? Someone's put here. Is it really William Sargent's Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club?
Well, I've mentioned that. We mentioned, if you remember, it was my wife actually that brought it up.
About the Peppers thing.
Yeah, she said what does Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, William Sargent, and what was the pepper? The pepper was the pepper from what was the film?
Rosemary's Baby. She had it around her neck.
Rosemary's Baby.
That thing she had around her neck that was poisoning her. Basically. Have you put some on in the background there, Trev?
Yeah, I just turned it down. Sorry,
I did so.
Was it echoing?
Yeah, I did so.
Yeah, I just was going to have a look at the chat just in case.
But you've got that's what I was doing, but I had the sound.
Yeah,
it's difficult to follow it, innit? Because it moves that bloody fast.
You have got that connection to William Sargent and the pepper thing, and the fact that.
Well, otherwise, what is it?
Yeah. Otherwise, what is it? Yeah, you're right there, Trevor.
Well, also at the beginning, does he shout out? I'm not really that familiar with the album, if I'm honest. Doesn't he shout out introducing Billy Shears? Didn't actually shout it out at the beginning of the song, beginning of the album?
I think someone mentions
Billy Shears, introducing Billy Shepherd or Billy Shears, yeah.
I was watching Matt Sergio's thing about the cover and where you fold it and it's like crown at the top and then there's the columns either side.
I think Matt needs to go into more detail. He don't go into enough detail, Matt. Matt, if you're listening, you need to go into more detail. I think you're letting yourself down. You're
letting us all down, Matt. Not just yourself.
You're letting us all down, Matt. Yeah.
He was even talking about stuff you can't see.
Yeah.
Was behind.
I think he's going to bed too early.
Nice
he goes to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. In his Stay up another hour, Matt, and get the job done properly.
He needs to go to bed after he's woken up.
In his 1960s Beatles duvet. I mentioned this conspiracy to my wife's mum, right, who's a big Beatles fan. And she said, no. I had Beatles wallpaper.
No.
I had Beatles wallpaper when I was little. I'm like, but how's that relevant to a possible conspiracy? No, I had Beatles wallpaper. I loved the Beatles when I was little, since I was little. I'm like, yeah, but that didn't say anything against there being a possible conspiracy. I'm like, you know what? I'll leave it. I mean, literally, go to my wife's mum's house, and she's got like an old Beatles magazine, books, all still out, right? Old stuff as well. So I find it quite interesting to look through quite a bit of it, to be fair.
Well, they are interesting.
Definitely interesting. Yeah,
and I do like some of their music.
And not only that, looking through them old albums, there is something going back to organic. There is something about that's tangible as opposed to where we're living now in this. In fact, it's moved on from digital to AI, where there's nothing really tangible anymore. Even the people that are building these AI businesses aren't really that tangible anymore, are they? You know, real.
Do you know something I was going to bring up actually, Fatty? Because I thought it was positive. Like we talk about the revolution will not be televised, and we need to know when we've had a win, right? And I can't remember where I saw this, but it was saying that there was a company called Ysect, a French insect farm startup, raised over 600 million, and it's closed down. Didn't work, right? But then I looked online, and there's another one. There's a few of them, right? There's Edam, a Danish one, Inseco, a South African one, Aspire Food Group, a Canadian cricket farm, and they've all gone bust. So what I mean,
can't imagine why.
No, but what I mean is they were really pushing that. They really wanted that.
They've gone bust or underground.
Well, he did say it in the Google that I did. He said these ones have failed, but it's still a viable product and a viable business to do. They just did it wrong.
They'll just be shoving it in without saying.
Well, they were, but the thing is, they already had a market because they were putting it into cattle feed. So it wasn't like the market didn't exist, waiting for us to start eating them. It already existed, but they went bust. And also, just as a connection, I watched just a YouTube thing about failed technology. And the amount of them that were Microsoft, and when they kept talking about billions this, millions this, they've invested into it. And they failed. You know, they were like, they spent... A good example was that Google Glass thing. That was one of them.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. It made people feel sick and stuff. So they don't always work, do they? But when they don't work, they vanish into obscurity and they're never discussed again, you know.
Yeah, so you never
don't think about it. Yeah, it's just gone. And then we focus on the fact they spent billions on this and it's worked. This one's worked. Oh, blah blah blah. But there's a lot of fails that these scumbags do.
Yeah. Well, that's reassuring, isn't it?
Just trying to add a bit of positivity.
Well, I don't think they're as good as what we make them out to be.
No,
it's just that if you
they
own
control the
everything,
news fire.
yeah, exactly. If you own everything, right, it's very easy to bully people, isn't it?
Yeah.
They control. They control. You know, they control those insect farms. The news on the insect farms. They'll tell you, and they'll told my kid at school they eat bugs, and I think they even tried some at school. I didn't know about this. Yeah. But then the farms are failing because they're not working. You know, I think that Bill Gates Beyond Burger, I think that's failed. Yeah. But it were everywhere, wasn't it? It were really getting pushed. It were in loads of restaurants and stuff. It's disgusting.
How do those bug farms work? They're like a little mini sheepdog.
I don't know.
Rounds them all up.
Like a grasshopper.
A bit giant grasshopper, yeah.
Grasshopper.
Yeah. I don't know. What were that in Ants, where them grasshoppers came in? Yeah,
grasshoppers were bad.
Cartoon, wasn't it? Yeah, grasshoppers were bad guys, weren't they? One of them had like a glass eye or something. One
played by what's his name? Wasn't it? It were
Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman?
I get confused because there was Ants and there was Bugs Life, weren't there?
Yeah.
I'm sure Tom Hanks was there somewhere.
Anyway, the grasshopper were Gene Hackman, I think, wasn't it?
One of them was. Yeah, there was two different films, I think. One was Gene Hackman. Anyway, didn't matter, is it?
Yeah. So I've been watching you two this week. With your Mike Willis and Matt.
Oh, the Doors video.
Yeah, really interesting. So, but I was saying to Chris that when he said about Huxley or just having someone very posh talking about, I'm now going to take this hallucinogenic drug.
Mescaline.
Mescaline. I can't imagine why I would want to take this every week, but I probably have it 6 months or so. And it was like, it was so
surreal,
weird
wasn't it?
hearing
It was surreal.
Because it's because then you realise that the whole culture surrounding that was then manufactured.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of deliberately, so that then you're going to get people going, hey man, and so but the reality of it was people like him who had proper plum in them. Okay, I'm going to take it. I'm not sure whether I'm perceiving the curtain in the correct way or you are. I have a very limited vocabulary when it comes to, and this was someone off his tits on LSD.
Well, the strange thing is that him and another guy during World War II, Aldous Huxley, actually came up with I call it a clinic, but what was the famous clinic that all them like the guys went to? I forget what we're called now. It was like a retreat.
Betty Ford?
No. Somebody will know it in the chat. It was in California. It was where all the Maharishis go, and that writer as well. I've forgotten anyway. I need to go through my notes to do it. Anyway, they were.
Wait, Hunter Thompson.
Yeah, Hunter Thompson went there. He was actually a watchman. You know, like a guard. He was a guard there at that. Anyway, but they modelled it on Aldous Huxley's retreat in I think it was 1943. He devised it, so they were already coming up with this retreat type hippie commune type thing system.
Well, ready. They came up with that retreat commune kind of world, and then they got what's his name, Chaos Guy Manson, just to throw a spanner into it all, didn't they, and destroy the whole idea of a peaceful hippie commune.
Took the love out of peace and love.
Yeah. That's the shit.
And peace.
Yeah. That guy who did the psychedelic thing was Dr. Humphrey Osmond, and he actually gave Aldous Huxley LSD as well for his book Doors of Perception. So Aldous Huxley had LSD on his deathbed, given to him by his wife. So he actually died off his head.
I've said before though, Dom, that around that time, we're talking early 90s, around the time when the Doors film came out, that book got regurgitated because the amount of people, when you get, people who don't really read books coming up telling you to read a book. It was one of them books where like a Dan Brown book, everyone was reading it and going, have you not
hyped up?
Yeah, have you not read this? And you're like, well, no, I haven't actually. But people were talking about it because I remember, and I didn't care at that time. I thought that Doors film was shite. But they were regurgitating, and he took LSD on his deathbed. And, you know, they were regurgitating the whole Huxley story in the early 90s, just around Summer of Love time. Or I'm sure it was before that. But then the film The Doors came out, so he did it again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And people were carrying around beating up copies of The Doors of Perception, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Anything that's hype, you know it's going to be shite.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, yeah. Like you said,
Yeah.
It was very interesting looking into the backgrounds of even Oliver Stone, because I think we can all say that it's not just, we'll make a film about the Doors and it just so happens that Val Kilmer might share a bloodline with Jim Morrison. For them type of things to happen, someone somewhere has to know these things when they're choosing these people to be in these films. And even Oliver Stone, whose father was his father worked. He was a colonel in the army who worked directly for Eisenhower during World War II. Who had to have been part of the. Had to have secrets. You know, he had to pass certain intelligence passes to be in that circle of people.
Yeah, he seems like a conspiracy theorist gatekeeper.
He does now.
Stone. He takes things just so far and then.
Much to my dislike, because I actually wanted him not to be a. You do want some of them not to be, don't you? But
how can you make a film about the JFK assassination, and a massive Hollywood film with loads of massive Hollywood stars in it? You would, if they didn't want you to get away with that, you wouldn't get away with it, would you?
No, of course not.
No way. And you know what I can't help thinking about at the minute is. I like Oliver's. I don't know if he's a bad guy or a good guy, but he went down and interviewed Hugo Chavez in Venezuela, and then you think where we are now. But that was when America was calling him an evil dictator, and they were already on the push to get Venezuela. And now you think. I remember watching that in 2009, and you think, what was that? I mean, that was just putting on the map that Venezuela was a problem.
But there's another angle to that, Chris. Was he a John Perkins? Was he a...
right, economical hitman?
Yeah. Was he actually there to do a deal? For...
Who knows? He might have given him cancer. Who knows? Did he die of a heart attack? I think Hugo Chavez, didn't he?
No, a big C, didn't he? I don't know if he died from that or...
Yeah. I think he did die.
Leonard Cohen used to keep cropping up, didn't he, when there was people being murdered?
Yeah, just listen to that. I re-listened to that one of Mark Devlin's. And Diamond, yeah.
Allegedly, Dave's in chat.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave, you all right, mate?
All right, Dave. Yeah, there was oh God, I forgot to say.
We're looking at everything, Dave, tonight. We're not. There's no specific. I might see if he wants to come on. Actually, do you want to come on, Dave? If you've got a computer near you, give us a nod in chat if you want to. I'll send you a link. We're just having a New Year get together, aren't we, guys? So,
but you can't help thinking that this was a contrived. I mean, who knows? I bet even the two red ties mean something, don't they?
Yeah, mind you, there are. Weepy says hi, by the way.
Where's Lee's Lee in?
Lee, no, he's not here.
Oh, Master Lee.
He said, Master Lee. So there are things that get into films. I'm looking at a few things on the.
Are you joking, Trev? There are things that get into films. Did you just say
there are things that like? Well, I'll give you an example. Like, have you know American Beauty?
Yeah.
There's a whole bit at the end of that, the last scene of American Beauty dying, and he ends up talking about the most important thing is to feel gratitude. I
would agree.
Yeah. So, but that's something that's been inserted into one of those films in a kind of esoteric way.
Yeah.
So it makes you realise there are some people out there putting stuff into films.
You do have to wonder, don't you? I mean, I remember me and my wife watched The Office, the American version, and one of the main characters. It's really funny, actually. I put off watching it. I only watched it like a year or two ago, and there's a point where one of them, she's pregnant, and someone in the background shouts out, "Don't vaccinate your kid." And that's it. You just hear it in the background. One of the other people in the office just shouts it out. Don't vaccinate the kid. And then it's done. And I also remember watching House of Cards, and there's a bit where
Dave said, he's been given the okay from the ball and chain. Wonder what he means there.
We've all been there.
We are getting like Last at Summer Wine. It is like that, isn't it?
I know in an episode of that House of Cards with Kevin Spacey in it, someone goes to drink some tattoo and go, "Don't drink that; it'll kill you." I always remember that was one just, and it didn't make any sense in the story or the episode. It was just blurted out, and like you said, did someone just insert that on purpose?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing we were looking at, which is really interesting, is The Prisoner,
Right? And 1960s one.
And apparently, Patrick McGowan actually was kind of behind a lot of that and produced it.
Right.
And you look at it; it's kind of an esoteric.
I've never watched it, if I'm honest with you.
The whole system.
Yeah.
I'm
not just a number.
Going inside.
I've only seen clips of it. I've never really watched many episodes of that, if I'm honest with you. It would be worth. How many episodes of it is there?
Oh, there's loads.
Yeah, when was that made?
As a kid.
60s.
In the 60s,
wasn't it? Yeah.
The town still exists in Wales, doesn't it?
Port Marion, yeah. Yeah, no, I used to watch that and
Avengers used to shit me up.
The Man from Uncle.
Man from Uncle, yeah.
Yeah, they all had that kind of weird, slightly trippy 60s vibe, didn't they?
Yeah, like a 60s throwback vibe.
I mean, yeah.
Spirals spinning round and stuff.
Well,
and mind control as well.
The Man from Uncle.
Stuff in there.
Oh, yeah, lots of mind control.
I did some research on the Man from Uncle and Sapphire and Steel, because the guy from Man from Uncle, he went in and what they call a posh bird.
Yeah.
Joanna Lumley, yeah. And she's got an interesting bloodline.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can.
She does all the gluten ads, doesn't she, for the Antarctic?
Well, she did a lot of pro Jabberwoony ads as well.
Yeah.
What's Hurtigruten, Trevor?
Hurtigruten is some kind of travel agency that you can spend a fortune going to the Antarctic.
Or just to the outskirts.
You probably go to Swab Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way you're going to get shot out at Sky or anything. Just
no.
You pay a fortune. Yeah,
and you can say we're to Antarctica, darling.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, you don't actually go to Antarctica.
You don't actually go to space or Antarctica.
That's how that one gets you, isn't it? Because you mention Antarctica to people. A lot of people say, like, what's your favourite conspiracy subject? And often I say Antarctica. And then they'll say, yeah, but you can go to Antarctica. So that's why that exists, isn't it? That they've got those little camps just on the outskirts. So you can say, we do go to Antarctica.
I'm just going to bring Dave in.
Yeah, but talking of Dave...
Talking of Dave, and he appears.
Hi, chaps.
How
you doing? All right.
People are very ready to kind of say, with Flat Earth, they go, where's the edge then? And you go, well, where's the edge of the universe? You're quite happy to kind of accept that kind of
concept.
Concept, yeah. But
right on cue, Dave. Right on cue.
Yeah. I thought I'd introduce you with that.
It's great you're talking about Flat Earth and this, because I just put a video out just recently, and somebody popped up on it and said, I've just done a documentary and I've featured some of your work in it. Come and have a look at it. And it's this guy who's a sailor, and he claims that the ice wall is fake. Right? We've all been believing this ice wall, and literally it's only on this island, and it's got like a shelf, and all the pictures of the ice wall are just this little bit of
just one little stretch.
Right.
Has it got a Truman Show style door on it as well? Yeah.
But the thing is, he goes back. He uses that Urbano Monte map from 1587, right? And it's like a 10-foot by 10-foot map. It's really detailed, and he shows that it's not an ice wall around. It's literally hidden continents around. Okay. So at the end of his video, which I'd advise everybody to take a look, because it's interesting. If you don't agree with everything.
Yeah.
But he reckons he's been to these lands,
right?
And he's going to go on an expedition, and he's looking for people to volunteer. So I volunteered, and And the thing is, he put up some restrictions. He said, nobody over 60, and no women, and just a load of these restrictions. So I'm actually over 60, so I thought, well, I'll write to him. I'll say, I'd love to volunteer, but I don't meet your criteria. He basically said, yeah, those criteria don't apply to you, because I saw a vision of this trip, and of the people that were involved. All I could see were the backs of them. Right, he couldn't see. He literally couldn't see their faces. He said he only saw one face who was looking directly at him, and it was mine.
I bet it was smiling. I bet it was smiling, wasn't it?
Yeah, he said, you were always coming on this.
Do you know his name or his YouTube? Where's that video? Where can we watch that video?
I will. I guess I'll email. I'll email that.
Yeah. Email me back. Yeah.
The link back to you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's in the flat Earth. Oh, okay. I'll tell you one of the things he put that basically just blew my head off. So we've seen this idea of the moon being a map of the Earth. A lot of people got that. What he did, he dropped the contrast way down or way up. I can't remember. But all the only the lightest parts of the moon map were showing. He flipped the picture of the moon upside down, and literally all the stars lined up. It's a star map as well.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
It takes a bit to blow your mind these days as well.
Yeah. The point is that,
it's more exciting, isn't it, Dave, when something blows your mind? Because you don't. Yeah.
The thing is, we've been looking at the flat Earth now. I've been looking at flat Earth now for 11 years now, right? And only very, very infrequently do we get new information or a new direction or
new ideas or whatever. Yeah.
And there's a lot that people will disagree with in this, but
you've got to go there to get to the places, haven't you? You've got to go. You've got to open them door. You've got to go open them doors.
Casey Perry going.
You can't just stick there in that cul-de-sac and say this is it. This is all we've got, because that's.
I mean, I was going to volunteer for that final experiment thing, and I soon realised it was bullshit.
I wanted to ask you about that, Dave. What did you make of that?
I think it was fake. I think they weren't in Antarctica. This is just my view. I personally think they had one of those. You know how they filmed The Mandalorian?
Yeah. With the entire round. Yeah, they literally invented it for The Mandalorian, didn't they?
Yeah, so I think they had something like that. Now that they've got that technology, it's so coincidental that now's the time they can take somebody to Antarctica and show them this thing.
So therefore, what do you make of Juranism then? Because that him possibly and you were my first listen to of, because he was quite passionate. Flat Earth,
Agent in place, because there's a commonality between all these people who suddenly at the same time just flipped and said, no, don't believe in flat Earth anymore, right?
Because I found as an onlooker, right, as watching that. I remember watching the trip to the thing and that. To flip and change your mind is one thing, but the way he flipped and then all of a sudden started using the same rhetoric, talking about how it wasn't flat. He almost used the same language as he did to convince you it was flat. I just found it very odd, very odd indeed.
Scripted. The thing is that he's got a body of work, 10 years of work, going across the whole gamut of flat Earth proofs. Yeah, so because flat Earth covers literally everything, the whole of life essentially, right? Now he goes on a so-called experiment, right, that covers one little aspect.
Yeah.
And even that is kind of suspect, You're going on, let's assume it was real. They went to Antarctica, yeah? They went on one particular, period of time, yeah? And saw one, phenomena that doesn't actually, rule out the flat Earth. Because what I've seen before, and I've been looking for this video clip ever since that experiment. Somebody put one of those lenses on top of the flat Earth, right? A flat Earth map, yeah, one of those big lenses, and he put a torch, you know, to simulate the sun, and yes, it was showing the the splodge of light that we were all used to, but at a certain angle, that you got the splodge of light, but then you also got light that went all the way around the edge of the lens. So it indicates to me that at certain times, right, and at certain angles and elevations of the sun, you get the effect where, yes, the whole of the
24-hour sun.
outside,
Yeah.
So
that was his proof point, wasn't it? There was a 24-hour sun, or there wasn't? There was.
Yeah.
And he said that, so everything he'd done for 10 years, that just disproved everything.
Yeah, the sort of observations about gravity and observations about observations about the lack of curvature, that all goes out the window just because of that's an agent in place who's been there and he was good at his job. But I remember when Jeran first appeared on the scene, there was a big controversy about him being involved in a crypto scam.
Right.
He scammed people, and everyone was like, he's a scammer. And people like me were like, I don't know, he got involved in this thing before, let him off, let him, give him a break,
And they just took the one skeptic along, did they? Because you'd think they would take hundreds of them, wouldn't you?
Well, there's the thing.
Convince them all.
This guy, Will Doofy, or whatever his name is, he claimed he contacted a whole load of flat earthers, and on his website he had my name on it, and he never contacted me.
Right.
So I went to him and I said, look, you're claiming you contacted me, but it's on your website, but you never did. He said, well, I tried to contact you, but there was no way I could find your contact details.
No, you're a bit hard to find, Dave, because it took me all of 5 seconds to get in touch with you.
You've got Leslie David, you're going to find me, yeah?
That's a blatant lie. Once you've lied like that, then there's no...
So it looks to me, and after that, I said, look, I'd be willing to go on this experiment. I gave him some things. I said, look, if you can assure me this, that, and the other. He never responded. I don't think anybody could have gone on that.
Other than them, yeah.
Other than them.
I found a video that we were talking about, Dave, in the last, I think the last podcast. Were we talking about that nurse, the nurse that had the jab and then disappeared?
Yes.
Right. I thought it was. Right.
It was Tiffany Dover.
Here we go, look.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
And what unit do you work in? Yeah. It's Tiffany Dover, TIFFANY DOVER.
Spell it here.
What unit do you work in? CCU. So I guess just talk to us a little bit about what just happened after passing out after. Okay. So I had a syncopal episode. I have a history of having an overactive vagal response.
Imagination.
And so with that, if I have pain from anything, hangnail, or if I stub my toe, I can just pass out. So what happened is I get an aura before of feeling weak, dizzy, disoriented, and it just, hit me all of a sudden. Just felt really diaphoretic, and I could...
Why would you give someone an experimental jab who had all them problems?
Yeah, to start with, and she couldn't spell her own name.
And how can somebody who can just pass out if she stubs her toe become a nurse?
Yeah, it'd be the wrong industry to go into. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
just a little.
Yeah, you get a bit shocked while you're doing something to drop.
Yeah.
Just that one video, though. I mean, I've got literally, I downloaded in 2020, 2021, literally hundreds of news videos. And I'm not interested in news, but I knew I had to keep them all. And, some of those videos, the amount of effort that went in to these videos. What was that other one? This is going to make Chris's blood boil, I know it is. But Remember her, Chris?
We have to stop the spread of COVID. To do this, we all need to work together. We need to limit our
What even
movements.
is that?
Don't know.
We need to consider whenever we leave our house that anyone with us, anyone we come into contact with,
Kill them all.
could convey the virus. So whilst it is in human nature to engage in conversation with others, to be friendly, unfortunately, this is not the time to do that. So even if you run into your next door neighbour in the shopping centre, in the Coles, whilst you're at Coles or Woolworths or Aldi or any other grocery shop, don't start up a conversation. Now is the time for minimising your interactions with others. Even if you've got a mask, do not think that affords total protection.
What a rancid bent.
Brings back many good memories of 2020.
Look at the bird doing the 666 there.
Yeah, not a bad place to stop.
Yeah.
I put in a chat. Right, so my website got destroyed just recently, but I did have a running commentary on the Tiffany Dover story.
Right, I did have a look at it on your website actually. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
I literally put the archive.org version of it on the chat if anybody's interested in it. But yeah, she obviously died, and have been trying to cover it up ever since.
I remember watching it all unfold at the time, and then I think all the social media's vanished and all sorts, didn't it?
Just one story, Dave. How much effort have they put in to cover that one? And there were hundreds of them type of stories, thousands of them. It's one story where they're trying to just invent the narrative. It is like watching that V for Vendetta where they're just inventing stories.
Well, think about it. You know, if this was a very sensitive narrative. If the whole of the system was pushing safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective. Yeah. If a nurse takes this, you know, she was one of the first to take this thing. Yeah, she's literally one of the first. She collapses on camera by doing one of those big press conferences. Look, I'm taking a jab because it's safe, and then she faints and then dies the next day. Yeah, there's no way. Like half the people who took it wouldn't have taken it. Yeah. So it was a big story. They had to cover
It's quite strange, isn't it? Because there were supposed to be batches that were lethal and batches. So you'd think they'd know which batches they were giving.
Well,
so
I don't know about that.
That's like very incompetent if they kind of.
My view on it is that it's supposed to cause autoimmune diseases. All vaccines. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say these things, should I?
I don't think it matters anymore. I don't think that's strict anymore.
Well, okay, so they all cause.
We'll find out.
All of them cause autoimmune diseases. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're designed so that these autoimmune diseases kick in 4 or 5 years down the line, so that you don't connect it to the jab.
So the instant death was a bonus.
The instant death was an accident. The instant death was not. You know, everybody is different. So yes, it's designed to kill you five years down the line, but some people it will kill them immediately. Yeah.
But there were certain batches that were much more lethal than
I think
others.
doing different things as well, Trevor.
And if they kind of killed everybody off all at once, it would have been a massive red flag, and I think, you know, everyone would have tweaked. But there were certain batches that were much more lethal, but it's pretty incompetent.
Well, something that you're seeing now is how many actors or celebrities over Christmas have you seen news stories? People have emailed me news stories of them passing away or becoming seriously ill. In like our age group type of, you know, 40 plus type of age group.
Put it like this, Dom. Like dozens and dozens of concerts cancelled, like in America. You've never heard of that before.
2 games stopped this weekend, Chris. Football games. One at Leeds United against Man United. Somebody died there, and one at Fulham against Liverpool. Were it? They had to. The game was delayed for 15 minutes or half an hour because of a medical emergency.
But it's 5 years now, fight, so it's normalised. No one remembers.
It's not being televised. It's not being televised.
No.
The deaths I imagine the deaths are catastrophic, but you know,
Yeah.
they're not being covered by any mainstream, and so
No.
according to the Muggles, it's not happening.
I pulled that book
Yeah.
out today. I bought it in 2023, that revised one of Ed Dowd's.
Right.
Because I thought I'm going to get that before it vanishes, even though it was on Amazon. But if you read that, it's heart-wrenching. It's a blooming thick. I mean, that was 2023.
Yeah.
About people just dropping.
I got the preview version, which was like the wire-bound
The
version
2022 one, was it?
Yeah, and even that was horrifying.
Yeah,
you know?
and then he added to it in 20. I mean, I think that's even before. I don't know if I can't remember if he goes into disabilities and stuff. But yeah,
But Matt Letizia, in his 17 years of playing professional football, had never seen it happen once.
well, exactly, Trevor.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like people don't want to discuss or remember beyond, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago. Or
They've been
that
lobotomised, haven't
comedian
they?
was pretty
Been
expected.
lobotomised.
Actually. Do you remember that woman?
I was just going to say that, Trev.
Comedian.
The one who was
On the
ranting
face,
about
yeah.
and she's
Fully
on
vaxxed.
stage. Yeah.
Fully vaxxed.
She just
She went backwards. Did she go backwards?
went straight off the stage and fractured her skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was people in the audience laughing.
Yeah.
It was a bit like when Tommy Cooper died.
Yeah. Yeah, she was slagging off the anti-jib jabbers and then just fell off the stage and cracked her skull up.
Yeah.
6 years in March. It's going to be since.
Oh, no.
It's gone in a blink, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. But
crazy.
the thing is, though, with this idea that they weren't going for mega kill, is that they could only do this once, right? Because there was always going to be the cadre of people who were absolutely not going to get it, right?
Yeah.
And those people who didn't. Some of them had a jab and didn't die, right? There's a group of those who won't ever do it again because they've kind of realised after the fact, right? Now they've tried to reignite another pandemic several times since.
Yes.
Right? And it won't ever catch hold because anybody who hasn't taken one now, after the 5 years of programming, isn't going to take one now.
But also,
But I mean, they were calling it monkeypox. That's not going to fly, is it?
Yes, monkeypox, mpox to hide the monkey bit. Yeah.
But also, they've got to keep.
Mpox sounds like
They've got to keep reigniting it to then make it believable that the original one was true. So if they don't mention it ever again, then it would become more suspicious. So they have to keep just mentioning it.
like landing.
Yeah, like the moon landing, yeah. Kick that can down the road. The next one, I'm going to do it in 2 years. Next year, we're going to be up there. Next year, we're going to be up there.
I'm sure.
Sorry. Go on, mate. I'll pause this. Carry on.
Again, I'm sure they're going to try to start the climate change version of the pandemic. It's climate emergency, lockdown, wear masks,
But I mean, this guy here,
that's a pretty picture, isn't it?
Even at the time, I mean, could you actually take notice of? I'll mute it.
He looks worse than Gollum, doesn't he?
But look at the
Oh
state
my
of him.
god!
And
He is a golem. He is a golem.
And you're taking health advice from.
But isn't that always the people at the health gurus always look like just one breath away from corking?
Because he's taking the piss out of his drum.
I mean,
he looks like a corpse. He looks like a woman.
That is the Sith, isn't it? That is the Sith.
It's them eyes.
Oh, he blinked.
The Japanese have a name for when your eyes are like that. You know, when it's hooded and
Sanpaku.
And you just see the whites underneath because there's another name for when you see the whites at the top of it. Yeah.
Psycho eyes.
Yeah, the psycho eyes are when it's
reptilian eyes. They look like snakes. Snake eyes.
Not human at all, does it?
No. Okay.
No. And you know what the truth is, and I keep banging on about this, but they aren't human. Those that we're up against, those that are smiling at us, telling us to kill ourselves, they're not human.
They can't be. They can't be. They can't be.
I mean,
talking of climate change, did you see that there was this headline I've got sent? Airports and schools close in Britain as Arctic freeze grips UK. NHS advises people to wear slippers. Who'd have thought of that? And they're gonna call it within a week. It's going to be the hottest Arctic freeze in recorded history, I'm sure.
What's the slippers about, Trevor?
Keep your feet warm, Chris.
Yeah, keep that. Yeah, that's it. You've got it in one.
But what I'm seeing as well is like on Facebook and other places, they put up things like 2025 was the hottest year on record.
Oh yeah.
as if we weren't there,
Yeah.
And there's a water shortage.
Yeah.
Despite the fact it's been raining every day.
And one that annoys me more is these posts saying everyone's buying an EV. It's like, no, they're not. We know they're not.
People are trying to get rid of their EVs.
I mean, I'm sure people in the chat can remember when we were kids in England. I mean, you used to get proper snow.
6 foot high.
Summer.
Yeah.
We had to dig ourselves out of the house in the
proper
winter.
seasons. I mean, what's your view on this? We were chatting last night on a podcast, me and Chris, about the light changing, it becoming, the opposite in winter becoming lighter earlier, or staying lighter later.
Well, it was Matt talking about the summer and the winter solstice, wasn't it? I don't really follow that, if I'm honest. But he said that it didn't get as dark early, or it doesn't get as light early, and stuff like that.
I've noticed, and we actually noticed that it was literally pitch black at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And just after Christmas, the Winter Satanic Festival. So it was pitch black at 4 o'clock, right? Yeah. And then a few days later, right, it's like nearly 5 o'clock, and it's just getting dark.
Yeah, that's what he was talking
about. Here's the thing, obviously, December 21st, right, is the solstice, and then you got the longest day of the year, and that, and or was it shortest day of the year, yeah. And so you expect it to be dark at 4 o'clock, yeah. Mm. But then for the next 6 months or so, it's going to gradually, get lighter and lighter and lighter until it flips the other way around, yeah. Mm. It shouldn't be getting lighter this quick.
Right. Yeah, that was his point. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I know we notice it. We notice it here. So,
what's your guys' thoughts on the changing the colour of the sun from a yellow to white, and
the moon being in the sky at the same time as the sun? What's that about? I mean,
I remember that as a kid. I remember seeing that as a kid. That's odd.
Yeah, I do on occasion, but I don't remember seeing them both in the same sky. One there and one there.
They seem a lot closer now.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And also, wouldn't that mean that the rest of the spherical Earth is
the rest of the world can't see either? Yeah, that's what I always think.
Yeah, but
the right eye in the sky, right there.
The model the model for both models actually support the moon and the sun in the sky at the same time. Yeah, the thing it doesn't support though is when like midday, right, you see the moon.
That's what I'm talking about.
You see it fall.
Oh, right.
Right, yeah.
Because if it's midday, that means the sun is directly like overhead or in front of you, right? There's nowhere the moon can be in your sky that will show you a full moon, because the moon is being lit up. The other side of the moon is being lit up from you. So there's no way, unless it's early morning or later in the evening. Yes, then there's a way that the sun is lighting up, but during the day, midday, the side of the moon that's being lit up is the side facing away from you.
Yeah.
But it's just mad that you only ever see the same face of the moon anyway.
Can I point out another couple of observation here, whether you've seen it or not? I've discussed this with Dom. Is, like when in the morning, say this morning, there's a bit of snow here, and I've noticed this for the last few years, the frost is there. And then generally what used to happen, the sun would come up, that early morning sun, because it's just a thin bit of frost because we're in England. It'd melt the frost or the bit of snow, and it'd be gone off your car or whatever. After an hour or two of the sun being up in the sky, it just stays there, like this shitty little thin layer of frost. Stays there all day. It used to be gone by midday when the sun was fully in the sky. You got a full blue sky, sun's high in the sky. That little layer of frost stays there, just stays there.
It's global warming.
But I don't know.
Global climate warming change.
But that didn't used to happen.
I'm sorry to go back to
No,
a point
go on,
that
it's all
Trevor made, that that we only see one face of the moon.
Oh yeah.
I'd say my personal view is that we're not seeing a physical, a physical object in the sky.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think we've got, before you get to the actual firmament, I think we've got some kind of barrier that stops us, going too high and interacting with the sun and the moon, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Unless you're Katy Perry.
Sorry?
Yeah, unless you're Katy Perry. Yeah.
I'm joking.
But I think that's about 75 miles up, because all the space rockets and things always go under 70 miles. Now I think it's a non-physical barrier, but I think it's also a barrier that so the light source, like the sun, is above that, and we're not actually seeing that light source. We're seeing the focal point on that barrier.
Like on a like if you were to dissolve an ant with a not that I ever did, I wouldn't ever do that with a
magnifying glass.
Right, exactly. And I think
not that you've ever done that.
Did
no, not that I've ever done it.
Yeah, did you see that?
But I think then the moon might be a picture essentially of the firmament, and that picture has been formed by some kind of radio, this, what was it? Iwar Anon basically put that forward, that it was like some radiation event which burned an image of the Earth into the firmament, and it's
Hence why it's just facing us all the time.
Again, the light from the sun is illuminating the firmament and projecting it down in different places on that. Yeah, so we see it as a ball, but it's literally the whole firmament, right? And we're seeing it move around because the sun's moving around and projecting it on different parts of this inner firmament.
That makes
It's always interesting when planets blown up massively. That they always look like they're underwater.
Liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you see the NASA version. It's this beautiful spinning orb. And it talks about its little moons around it, and you're like, "Well, that's bollocks, isn't it?" Because I've never that. Regardless, my opinion at this point in time, regardless of what everything is the moon is some form of reflection. I would say
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. But it's just
I've got one of your favourite videos coming on, Chris.
Just quickly, Dave, when's that expedition supposed to be then? The one that you
well, it can only be during the summer months, the southern hemisphere's summer months, because it gets dangerous. So it won't be at least till next year.
Can you send us a postcard?
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to contact anybody.
Be interested to see if there's any chemtrails.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just putting the link to the video in the chat. Oh, that's gone very fast. I'll just put it in the chat anyway. I'll put it again just in case.
In fact, after this, put it in the comments, Dave, as well, because then I can follow it.
SPV's in as well. He's a good guy as well, Dave.
SPV.
Yeah. Sorry, FPV.
FPV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just some great research. Yeah. You'd like his stuff. You'd really like his stuff.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
We mentioned him last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We were talking about him last night. Yeah. Yeah. Just done some great research. Takes it all the way. I'm going to play this video, Chris. Don't smash your screen up.
This is now a clear global problem. The absolute consensus is that human action is leading to an increase in average temperatures. Absolute consensus. I can't. I know you may try to argue with that, but you can't.
No, you can't.
But therefore, but the key point is: can we respond to it? Do we have the political institutions?
I can respond
and
to
the
it.
Political will and the organisation globally to respond to this challenge? And that worries me immensely. I don't think we do at the moment.
And I'm absolutely
What a muppet
stunned
that bloke is.
that someone who is inspired by Richard Feynman, a fantastic scientist who believes in empirical evidence, is quoting consensus.
Can I just say, I brought the graph, right? I mean, can you...
First of all, that the data has been corrupted, and we know that the 1930s were warmer than today.
Yeah, corrupted. What do you mean corrupted?
Been manipulated
By who?
By NASA. By the
NASA?
yes. As far as I'm concerned, politics should be based on empirical evidence. All policy should be based on empirical evidence. I've heard consensus, which is not science. I've heard appeals to authority, which is not science. I've heard various illusions. Hang on. I've heard... hang on.
Oh, you twat.
Hang on, bro.
That's a clip I always talk about, isn't it, Fi?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I found it.
I mean, the whole audience is on side with old fucking lesbian lips. The whole audience is already on side, aren't they? Just blowing smoke up his ass. And that guy is trying to have a decent conversation. And, you know, we've got a graph. And he throws it at him. I mean, the arrogance. So it's not a discussion, is it? And you can see he's getting angrier as well as he's talking. Not the guy who's talking against, what's his name? Lesbian lips. But you can see he's getting angry because he's not taking on board what he's saying.
Well, have you noticed that when you're dealing with people who don't know the truth, or I guess defending the lie, they're the ones who get angry.
Not willing to look at anything else as well, Dave. I think not willing to even observe or acknowledge or come up with have a balanced discussion about it.
I did a gig on New Year's Day in which is, if anyone hasn't been to the barn in Ledbury, brilliant place. So I was doing I did the Keir Starmer song, and there was a barrister there with someone that apparently worked with DPP. And I was saying Keir Starmer protected Jimmy Savile, and they started heckling me in the middle of the show, and saying that the information didn't get to him. You know, he was innocent of that. And I was going, well, yeah, the information didn't get to him about the hounding Julian Assange either, or the failure to look into the death of John Charles de Menezes, and deputy heads will have rolled. And I'm sure Keir was very angry when he found out. It's just ludicrous, these people. They can't, even the people that close. And then I played my song about we didn't go to the moon, and that really got them, and they got up and went out in a huff. so I took that as an encore to play the Keir Starmer song again. Yeah. But yeah, these people and it's amazing when they're that close to it, that they can be completely hoodwinked.
But not just hoodwinked, they actually believe that he didn't know about it. The actual, and if he didn't know about it,
he was the boss.
He should have been sacked because he should have known about it. Yeah.
Well, what I see is that those people who were in the school system over the last, I don't know, 20 years or so, maybe 15 years, they've had the climate stuff drilled into them day after day after, and they get rabid if you say it's not real.
Yes.
They're quick to believe that we're killing the planet. It's our fault. It's we should stop it. It's and it really upsets me when I see people who've got they're essentially advocating for their own demise.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no. Yes.
Like in 2020, it's the guilt thing, isn't it? You must feel guilty because you've caused this. You are the problem. You as a human being wandering around this, whatever it is, you are the problem, and you must feel guilty because you're destroying everything.
Forget the corporation.
They made plastic.
I'll give you
straws.
A fantastic example was this. I remember it wasn't this year; it was last year. What's the carbon footprint of a Christmas jumper? So you just bought yourself a Christmas jumper for your staff party. You fucking psycho! You're destroying the planet. It's your fault.
Yeah, no joy.
Yeah,
can't have any joy.
Can't even have a Christmas jumper. Not that I've got one. I want one.
The other thing that really gets to me still, and I'm trying to not to jump into that pendulum, is when I see people knowingly lie to the people, like that idiot Cox guy. Yeah. You know, he knows he's lying, right? Because he's, you know,
or he knows he doesn't know. He doesn't have a fucking clue, does he? He's not anything.
No, you know what? He's got that graph. He knows that graph is missing the medieval warm period. Yeah?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the mini ice age. Yeah.
And the mini ice age and all that. Yeah, he knows that it's really sort of curated information that looks bad. Yeah, he knows it, right? And yet he's still pushing it, not because he feels that something needs to be done. He's pushing it because his masters have told him that's what he's got to do. Yeah. You know.
And
well, maybe they've got his balls.
Well, he certainly earns a few million quid a year selling that shit.
Yeah.
So,
they've all got you know, balls in the sling, you know, because they've all signed on to these secret societies and whatever, and you know, there's consequences for going against the message. Yeah, you've seen it when you know Cosby wanted to, you know. He wasn't a main player back then. He just backed in the background, and he wanted to use his money to start his own TV show, network.
Yeah.
So very quickly, you know, women from 30 years ago said, "He touched me."
So is that Bill Cosby? Have you cut out just a little bit then?
Oh yeah, Bill Cosby.
Really? Right? Yeah. Do you reckon he was stitched up?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, like Prince was like Jackson.
Yeah, I was going to say. He was at the end of his career. Okay, he'd done his part, right? So he's in the background, but he still had a lot of money from what he'd done. He decided to start a TV network, his own TV network, right? And that can't happen.
You can't have a black man doing that in America,
right? So literally, all of a sudden, you know, women from 30 years ago turned up and said, "Oh, he touched me, he raped me," and then he's in prison, right?
I think they took a lot of people down with that hashtag Me Too business, didn't they?
So it's literally that if you go against the message, you know, you go against the agenda, right? They pull you. As quick.
That'd be a bit like trying to start your own bank, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I noticed something strange.
Unrelated. Bill Cosby was a Mason, wasn't he? I think.
They're all of them. I want to get. I think there's you know that 20th Century Fox music. There's one. I want to get one that goes. It's all of them.
Yeah, but then in being a Mason doesn't go against what Dave was saying. He just got thrown under the bus, didn't he?
Or he went against what he'd been told in a meeting and decided to set his own TV channel up. Against his master's wishes, and a lot of the black superstars were made, like Jack Johnson, the boxer in the early 1900s, was a Mason. The blues, the guy that I told you, there were blues. Were he a singer or the guy?
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong was a master Mason. You know, so a lot of these people we looked up to as kids.
But at the same time, my missus's dad was a Mason, and we know Mason.
He wasn't a master Mason.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a master, but then they've made it so liquid that you don't really know if it means anything or it doesn't mean anything, do you?
Yes.
And in that book that I've got, that Synagogue of Satan book, it says they will use the Mason thing, where they prove that they're this way or that way. They will use it to tar people later on in the future. And he wrote that in the 50s. We're saying the Mason thing will be used to tar people.
Well, did you see that there was a video from I guess he's a winner of Australia's Got Talent or something.
Oh yeah, bringing them down.
Right, but the thing that shocked me watching that was like a 5-hour video. That all the way through the video, he was showing pictures of all these celebrities and all these famous names who are doing all the. I'm not going to do them because somebody's going to take a screenshot. They were all doing the symbols and the signs and everything, and it struck me that there for everyone, virtually everyone on Earth, there was somebody in that list who's inspired them or you know altered the way they've been, you know, and. It's all been a sham. It's all been bullshit. Yeah, we've all been affected. Nobody can say they've not been affected by one of these influencers over the course of their lives.
Yeah, and even by the news, if you think of the news stories of the last few months, we're all influenced, aren't we? All get angry. And did Charlie Kirk get shot in the neck, or was he a hologram? Does it really matter? It's just a distraction from the bullshit, really.
Yeah.
It's now
But
a viewpoint.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, after
sorry,
you.
Well, I don't necessarily think they all know that.
No.
You were talking about Ian Dury the other day.
Yeah.
And
Polio.
but it's like sex and drugs and rock and roll, and it all seemed very rebellious at the time.
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
wasn't.
sure he thought it was.
It wasn't the point on Ian Dury, Trevor. What it was, my missus watched the film of his biopic.
Yeah.
And he was on about polio, so he was selling the vaccine story.
Yeah,
that was
of course.
The point. Yeah.
Yeah, but he probably didn't even realise he was doing that. He was just being.
Well, also, he might have actually been poisoned by DDT, So he
exactly.
might have actually had the thing that they were telling him he had.
Polio virus.
It doesn't mean it's polio virus. It's like, people who got labelled with HIV positive, it doesn't mean they were in on it. It just means they got told something.
But he was pushing that narrative, sex and drugs and rock and roll, which is the thing that they've been selling.
Yeah.
Without even realizing people from the blockheads. I mean, I know that are completely awake.
Yeah.
Some of them left because the others.
I wasn't pointing the finger at Ian Dury. It was more his biographer.
I always loved Ian Dury. I thought he was incredible and like a real poet. But but these people can be used.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we're playing against people who play 3-5D chess. And so when they make these moves like 20, 30 years ago, we don't know what that was doing back then. And we're only starting to get the inkling of how it's affected us now.
Well, that's talking about, that posh guy taking LSD and how incongruous that seemed.
Aldous Huxley,
exactly. And they were like putting in the groundwork of what they were about to do.
Yeah.
And then it just seemed completely incongruous that this guy was sort of talking like that about taking LSD and getting off his head.
I'm going to get off my head, right?
Without the culture around it.
Yeah.
And it kind of exposed the whole thing.
Yeah.
The fact that he was talking about getting off his head on LSD.
Well, especially when you look, obviously, at their backgrounds, intelligence, MK Ultra, and all the other stuff that goes with it, and then it's inserted into the 60s counterculture that the rebels. Roll on 70 years, and Mick Jagger's telling us all to roll a sleeve up and get jabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Rage Against the Machine.
Something that's probably not directly related. A thought pops into my head a couple of days ago that how they've managed to get every one of us, everyone on Earth, to work towards this agenda.
Amazing, isn't it?
It's taxes. It's taxes. It's money and taxes, right? Because essentially, money is energy. Is human energy, right?
Yeah.
It's like human energy kind of divorced from the actual physical energy. Yeah. So it represents physical and human energy.
It's like potential energy,
right? And so when they tax us, they're taking that energy, right? Yeah. And when you consider that you're taxed, in reality, you're taxed sort of like 98%. So 8% of your energy has been working towards this agenda, right?
Yeah.
And you've got no idea. We've never had any idea that we're all working for our own demise.
Yeah, it's like dealing with vampires.
It is.
And when you think of old school with actual money that we don't have around as much, every country's got almost the same size, same looking kind of money, and they're all little sigils, aren't they? That we're all carrying around with us. Yeah, I'll swap that sigil for yours. Can I? Give me some, and I'll give you a little bit of change sigil.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of mass self-harming, isn't it?
Yes. But the thing is, we're all working this viewpoint that we're living under a social contract that that we do our part, working, making to making sure the bins are emptied and all that stuff, and society's going to look after us, right? the thing is that contract was broken years ago, right? The rules have changed, but we're still playing by the rules.
Yeah.
And that's got to stop, you know?
Yeah.
That's game theory, though, isn't it? That's game theory. We think the rules are there to protect us when in reality they're there to harm us. And that is game theory, isn't it?
Yes.
And they've never played by the rules anyway.
And if you didn't realise it was a sham in 2020, I don't know. But, there's not much else to...
And if everybody stopped playing by the rules, that's when it all ends. Yeah. You know, everything you do in the system, right, is powering the system, right? So everything you do, right, if you do well in the system, somebody's making money out of it. Right? If you do badly in the system, somebody's making money out of it, and the system churns on because of it, right? The only way to stop that is literally remove yourself from the system, right? And it's a hard thing to do because, you know, psychologically there's a lot of fear behind it. What am I going to do? How am I going to live? You know, and so people, it's a hard step to get over. But once you get over that step and find your own way, right, it becomes easier. And what I've been finding out about how the world works, right? When you've literally got to do what Terence McKenna basically said. He basically said that the world works for you, right? But you've got to meet it halfway, right? And he said it's like jumping off a cliff in the dark, knowing that there's a feather bed at the bottom, right? And it is literally like
that is trying your best to live without fear, but it's difficult because we're constantly told to be terrified. Even us lot in our conspiratorial world that knew that 2020 was bollocks, there's still fear involved because you're still worried about you and your family. And you know,
Chris, I'm going to play this video of this professor talking about viruses.
Right.
Oh, the famous question: are viruses alive? Well, it depends how you look at what life is. So, why is that a hard question to answer? It's really a hard question to answer because no one has a definition of what life is yet. We really don't know. If you ask, you know, what's a challenge in science? It's closing in on really understanding what life is. And I think we're getting closer and closer. So what do we have? We actually have a list of characteristics of properties of life, but all of those characteristics are not exclusive of life, meaning there's something we all view as something that is not living that has that characteristic. Let me give you an example, okay? I know we're drifting south here, but a lot of people say, okay, life is defined by replication. It produces more of itself. Well, crystals do that. And crystal growth.
There's me thinking it was just a simple yes or no answer. A virus is alive. It goes on for about 3-4 minutes talking absolute bollocks and never answers the question.
Yeah.
I haven't got sound on video. Is it just me that has
it? You. Yeah.
That's for you.
Yeah.
But also, Fatty, when he was saying that, he was dragging me in. I was like, what's he going to say next? And that's what these characters do, like Brian Cox does. They drag you in with just fucking word salad.
Word salad. Yeah.
Just nonsense.
Yeah, I wrote a book in 2014 about how the human body worked. And back then I realized that there is no such thing as viruses. All these vaccines that have been put out, they've never actually done anything. Literally a disease
kill people.
A disease basically, yeah.
Where's Cox's graph of that when the disease ends and the vaccine comes out?
That's the thing, yeah. So a disease follows a regular pattern. It goes up like that, hits a peak, and then starts to decline. And in that decline, they introduce the vaccine here, and then they take credit for the decline, which was already happening. So no.
We caused in the first place.
They probably caused in the first place.
I watched a documentary about it. They were spraying before the DDT thing. They were spraying. Was it arsenic and lead for
pesticides?
Pesticides.
Yeah,
covering everything in arsenic and lead, and then
And what are pesticides? You go and look at the history of pesticides, so you find they're chemical weapons from World War One.
Yeah, they're just biowarfare weapons.
Yeah. So
I mean, everything is against life, isn't it? Antibiotics.
Yes.
Anti-histamine.
Anti-human.
And that's why you've got to realise that it is a spiritual war that we're in. It's more than just human psychopaths. There's something here that does not like humanity.
But then again, we have to fight against the fear thing and find gratitude in things, and then you get, the more you have of that, the more you get, I think.
One thing that schooled me through 2020, if you like, I mean, obviously I was never on board with any of it, but it was like, what are we getting stressed? Are we getting stressed over what, another 10 years of life? Say, for instance, you don't take the jibber jabberoo and they kick your door in and shoot you in the face. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Are you going to give up everything you believe in for an extra 10, 20 years? You know, we're all going to croak one day. Your principles are more important than doing what you're told, is what I'm trying to say. Probably putting it back very badly.
The thing about
that was good.
Thank you.
The thing about law and them trying to force people. The law doesn't force you to do anything.
No.
Right? The law's saying, don't do this, don't do that, But it can't say, you must do this.
It was all in the words at the time, Dave, if you remember. It was an offer. Do you remember they kept saying it's an offer?
It's always an offer.
Yeah. And
even when it sounds like it's mandatory or whatever, it's
mandatory
always
doesn't
an
mean
offer.
you've got to do it. It just means we consider it mandatory.
If they could just, turn up at your house and jab you without your consent, right? They would have done. Right? Right? They need you to consent to it, so they're going to coerce you, bully you, whatever, right? To make you think that you have to take it, so you voluntarily accept it, right? And that goes with everything. It goes with everything.
I remember at the time, me and Dom obviously had big conversations about this, and I remember Dom saying, "It seems like they're after a number." And then, what's his name?
A target, didn't they?
Yeah, like a business, we've got to meet this target of X amount of people have been jibber-jabbered, and then that'll therefore do what we need to do in the future. And it was at that moment when, what's his name, Javed was saying the nurses have got to get it. On the Monday, they've got to get it. If they don't get it by Wednesday, they're all going to get sacked. And then on the Wednesday, he changed his mind and says, actually, after new research, we've decided it's all right, they don't need to get a job. So it seemed at that point to me like they'd reached the target. Like,
no.
Do you not think so?
What happened was the nurses said no.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
the nurses said no. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what I'm trying to say. Right? They'll make it sound like everybody has to do it, and there's no option, no nothing.
Well, even what I just said there, Dave, it makes it sound like they won, but who knows?
Yes. I mean, in fairness, these entities are cowards, aren't they? They are.
Well,
they're not.
It's more that we are much, much, much more powerful than they are, and we don't know it.
What about Piers Morgan? Are you more powerful than him?
Much more powerful.
Big-eyed Morgan.
25 million records.
Why does anyone listen to this fucking pig?
Superstar. He's a talented actor with a lot to say about issues related to America. Dwight's latest album is 3 Pairs. Welcome to you, Dwight. Before we go any further, you're a singer.
Yeah.
You must have had sore throats.
I hear
over the years.
that. Well, you know
As you
what?
can tell, things are deteriorating. Is there any advice you can give me?
Don't ever take a flu shot again. Now, I watched that night with Dr. Oz, and in deference to Dr. Oz, I think he's, probably, he seems like a completely competent doctor. And I don't understand any of the, the kind of biological aspects of the, of the meds that.
But we're both doing the maths, aren't we? We both saw him put that thing in my arm, and within 10 days, I've been struck down.
I you know what? I don't want to tell anybody out there. I'm not a medical advisor. Get your vaccines if you. I don't believe in them. I'm just suspicious by nature, and I saw you get it. And here we are.
Well, let's try. We'll try and plough on with the interview, notwithstanding the fact I can't speak.
Do you know, I'm starting to think that possibly Piers Morgan's just as thick as fuck.
Yeah.
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 If he wanted to save his voice, he could gargle his piss. That's what he needs.
Yeah, he's a knobhead, isn't he? He's such a knobhead. You know what's funny? I can't believe that he becomes part of a conversation of, but on Piers Morgan, who cares what that man says? Who cares what he thinks?
Yeah.
Why is he a spokesperson for anything? Do you know what I mean? I find it odd.
Just a dickhead.
again, the TV is there to
TV's the
hypnotize,
TV. Yeah.
everybody. And
I always think
plant
back, Dave,
attention.
to you know, The Shining. We've all seen The Shining. Do you remember the bit where he's in the car and Danny says something about those cannibals, and he goes, "No," he goes, "Don't say that in front of Danny." And he goes, "No, Mummy, I know about the cannibals." And he goes, "I saw it on the TV." And Jack Nicholson goes, "Don't worry, honey, he saw it on the television." I always think about that because that is what people.
That's
use.
why the Amish didn't get COVID.
Yeah, because they had no TV.
Yeah. And I always look at the Amish, you know, that they are operating a system in parallel to this one. That if everybody just looked at him, they'd think, why are we living like this? You know, we're in this mode where we have to get a mortgage, which means we have to work like, I don't want to swear, but we have to work to death to pay to live in his house. And at the same time, you can look at the Amish community. When a newly married couple want a house, the whole community gets together, builds one for them. No mortgage, no nothing. It's just there. There you go.
They've got land, and they just build it on the land.
They just
as soon as you say Amish, I always think of them throwing up them barns. Though it's all you ever think of.
Watch that film Witness with Harrison Ford. That is an absolutely joyous scene in there, right? And I'd love to live in a community like that where we just get together. And, you know, that I don't know if you've ever done this, but you've worked hard, you know, helping somebody, you know, or digging a garden for somebody, and you're knackered, but you're happy.
Yeah, physical.
That's beautiful.
Good day of work, you know, and everyone's feeling the same way, and you might have a go out for a drink later and just have a laugh because.
I always remember there were a guy who in our village we grew up with called Old Tom, and when it snowed really badly, you know, like my dad used to say, "Go up and clear his drive for him," and he was tight as fuck, right? And I cleared his drive. It took me like hours. I was clearing it, and he came out and he goes, "Do you want a drink, young'un?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll have a coffee, please." And he went, "Water?" And I went, "No, coffee." He went, "I'll get you a glass of water." And I thought, I just spent 3 hours cleaning it. I think he gave me 50p. Spent like 3 hours cleaning your drive up. And he refused to.
But we lived on a hill, and we used to push when it snowed. We used to push all the cars up the hill. It's brilliant. And you got such a kind of joyful feeling from that. So imagine what they must all feel like, those people.
I want to ask you also.
Well, sorry,
fuck you, Trevor.
No. It comes on straight away when you put it on. I don't. Can you remember this guy?
This guy?
Can you remember the Pfizer guy? Can you remember his neck?
The vet guy, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a vet. Look at his. What can you remember? His neck moving up and down. Look.
Mr.
What is that?
Bullfrog.
Yeah.
What even is that though? Didn't he come out and say he had some kind of illness that made his... I mean, just like that WEF guy who took over from Schwab, who's got one red eye. Yeah, it's just a condition. Yeah, I know loads of people wander around with one red eye.
Yeah, but there was this video of a woman, like a woman politician or something, and she falls over and her shoe falls off, and she hasn't got a foot. It's like a tentacle thing.
Yeah. Well, it just bends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'm telling you, there's more than. There's more than.
I mean, look at him. That looks like a. You can see the bagginess of his neck, can't you? Then you think about the one with Biden where he had those little tab on his cheek here. Yeah, like it were a.
But also, again, we're taking health advice from a guy whose neck looks like some kind of lizard's, right? And he's a vet. He's not even. He's not even. Even if you believe a doctor, he's not even a doctor. He's a vet.
Yeah. As I said, there's more than just humans here.
Yeah.
And he had that video of him saying, we need to put more pressure on. We were a bit wrong with how we put the pressure on for people to get the jibber jabber.
And he got no shame, though, Chris, because he was asked if he'd taken it. He said no. And his reason for not taking it was that he didn't want to take a jab off somebody who needed it.
Yeah, that was it.
He's all hard.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the type of guy you're on about. A minute ago, Dave, guy. You know, when you help somebody, you know, he was helping people by not having the jab.
But a lot of that, I think, is thrown out there to actually ridicule us and take the piss out of us as well, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go back to what Chris was saying about the old guy that he was helping and stuff. Right? Yes, you know, to your mind, he was a crabby old guy.
No, I didn't care, Dave. By the way,
no. The thing is, though, if likelihood, if you'd gone back and met him, years later, and reminded him who you were and stuff, you'd find him a completely different person. And that community spirit is, if you needed something and you knew who you were, he'd bend over backwards to help you.
Well, no, to be fair, Dave, I actually saw him the day before he died. We were a close family friend. And we knew he were a crabby old tight guy, but I still we love the guy, didn't we, Fatty?
Yeah. We still helped old Tom.
Yeah. That was just his mentality. He was so tight, right? He was funny as well because his wife had a sister who lived next door, and he'd come down and he'd start moaning to us. He'd go, "Yeah, sister's been round today. She came in. She didn't have one cup of tea. She had two. She was two tea bags. She had three
and a piece of cake.
She had three rich tea biscuits. She didn't pay for them. She didn't give me any money. And he was loaded, this guy as well, by the way.
So he probably had a book where it's all written
about how many biscuits she had.
A question for you guys. So this guy here, right? We've all listened to Jerry Mazinski's stories and what have you. I think I don't know if Dave's heard Jerry Mazinski's stories. Yeah. Do you think these people are other entities, or do you think they're possessed?
They seem possessed to me.
Yes.
I think there's something controlling them.
I'd say yes, to both questions, because some are entities, some are possessed, and they, you see some where the video glitches out on them, and it's not like the video's glitching out. It's like something is attached to them. The glitch moves with them, and in fact, I've got a still from one of those videos that you can see the main character, the guy. He's got this glitch on his face, but there's a reflection of him, and you see the glitch in the reflection as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just a video artifact, right? There's literally something there that the camera's picking up, right? And you go to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, right? Some old account. It talks about these entities that aren't human. They have some kind of technology, right, or something that makes them look human, right? And it says the line that sticks out in my mind. It says, "Serpent-headed when the glamour is lifted," right? And it basically says that when so it tells you the story of these things creeping into positions of power, right? And then an ancient mystic learns a word that reveals their true face, right? And it says, "Only by sound can their faces be seen," right? Now, think about this, right? This is linking into something else that I was looking at. Only by sound can their faces be seen. Imagine if there's a certain tone that drops their disguise, okay? Wouldn't it, I'm sorry, I've got to drop
like
back
a frequency,
Yeah, frequency.
Yeah.
So I've got to drop back a second. It literally warns that, when they found out how to defeat their technology, right, they were defeated. They weren't killed, they weren't ended, but they receded, right? And it hinted they're coming back. They'll find a way back and do the same thing again. So if you realize that these things can hide from you and they can be revealed by a certain tone, right? Wouldn't it be pragmatic to make sure that in every town you had one of these tone generators?
Stifled the tone.
No, but if you knew that these things were coming back and they could hide and pretend to be human, wouldn't it be prudent to have a tone generator that would sound every so often to make sure that you didn't have one of these things around? Yeah.
Just simple.
Well, that's what I think.
Reacting it.
Sorry, mate. Go on, carry on. Sorry.
That's what I think bells were.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And literally at the beginning of the 20th century, they literally took away all the bells,
melted them down to make spitfires.
Yeah.
And now these things are back.
And look what's now there, Dave. 5G towers.
Yeah.
which are not about telephone communication. I don't think. I think there's something else. But imagine that's like a counteraction against anyone taking away that frequency.
Well, I think they went for a major exercise to remove the bells from. Again, the bells were in every town.
And do you remember the old Spider-Man film, the third one, right, where the bell destroys the symbiote?
Exactly, the reptilian.
The parasitical attachment. Yeah, and he rings the bell and it just fragments and destroys it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There was a Crew 777 episode where he was talking about that they could actually use bells to stop a weather pattern, like a typhoon or something like that.
Well, yeah, wouldn't it?
Just by the frequency.
You see those images of piles of bells. I mean, Japan, they had them from every country had these massive bells, didn't they?
Right. Chaps, I'm going to have to sort of leave it there because.
All right, Dave. Lovely to meet you again. See you again, should I say?
It's good to chat with you guys.
Catch up, man. Yeah.
Right.
Dave.
Thanks for coming on, Dave.
Okay, no problem.
Take it easy, man.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. See you later, buddy.
See you.
Yeah. Great stuff.
But what you were saying, Chris, about numbers, them reducing it all to numbers, that's what they do all the time, isn't it? We know that every human being is an individual and important, but they just talk about numbers like in the war.
Yeah.
You know, they reduce everybody to numbers.
Yeah. And
that's what they try and
even
do.
when they're bragging and grandiosing on TV, it's all about we spent this many billions and it just makes people's heads go, oh God, you'll be in charge of that because I don't know how to handle billions or millions or whatever. So it's just another way to fry your brain, isn't it, and make you think, oh God, I don't know how to deal with this.
But also to sexuality about how to do it.
Yeah.
Shall we play Wank? Can you hear this when I play it?
No, I can hear this video.
Oh, strange, because I can hear it.
Yeah, see if you can hear this now.
Just simple words there, reacting it. You're quite emotional by that.
Well, it's just, it's been, it's been such a tough year for so many people. And there's William Shakespeare putting it so simply for everybody that, we can get on with our lives.
He's a bad actor.
There's still a few months to go. I've still got this worry that we can't blow it now, Piers. We've still got to get the vaccine to millions of people and
finish off all William Shakespeare there
by the rules. But it's just there's so much work.
He did actually die. He died.
That's what I'm saying. Let's just kill all William Shakespeare off.
Yeah, he did actually. I think he lasted about 4 months.
I used to hate Matt Wankop, but then I saw him on I'm a Celebrity, wanked me off out of here, and now I think he's all right. He's actually all right, isn't he? No, he's not all right. He's a fucking...
he's a dick. Yeah. There was another one here where he started crying as well.
We know through repeat experience what happens if this virus gets out of control. If it gets out of control, it grows.
That woman's calves in the background.
Hospitals come under pressure and people die. And, Madam Deputy Speaker, this isn't just speculation. It's a fact. That has affected thousands of families,
demeanour,
including my own. We talk a lot of the outbreak in Liverpool.
Oh, God.
And how that great city has had a terrible outbreak and got it under control.
No.
This means more to me than I can say.
Oh, God, man.
Because last month, my step-grandfather, Derek,
step-grandfather?
Derek.
there. And on the 18th of November, he died. In my family, as in so many others...
Look at his fucking hair.
We've lost a loving husband, a father, a grandfather to this awful disease.
If you don't believe
they're barely related, weren't they?
Yeah.
They weren't even related.
But if you don't believe these guys are actors, look at him and look at fucking Blondie next to him.
Yeah.
If that's not an acting scene opening up in front of you, I don't know what is. And you're going to let someone put some fucking poison into your bloodstream because of these two knobheads talking like this.
So the relationship, right, is... His dad divorced his mum, and married another woman. That other woman was married to someone else, and that someone else was the guy that had late stage Alzheimer's in an old people's home that was obviously killed by the Liverpool pathway to death or whatever it were called in an old people's home. And he's willing to stand up in Parliament and say this guy died of Divok. So, and he knows the tests don't work properly. At that level, they don't work right. Yeah,
so
know
lie
that
upon lie, upon lie, upon lie.
Everything's stacked up on top of. I mean, look how his demeanour changed. That is, you know,
like an actor going into a scene and going.
You what? Right, I'll just rewind this. Right, when he's talking now.
He experienced what happens if this virus gets
out of control.
Yeah,
he's like,
if it gets out of
look
control,
at that bird's calves
it
up back
grows
there. That's a pair of legs, that, isn't it?
Hospitals come under pressure and people die. And Madam Deputy Speaker, this isn't just speculation. It's a fact that has affected thousands of families, including my own. We talk a lot of the outbreak in Liverpool and how that great city has had a terrible outbreak and got it under control. This means more to me than I can say.
It's like someone's told him he's a good actor, that he's got into like, Robert De Niro mode.
Does he look like a leader to you?
No. Or this guy. I've literally honestly
I think the first thing is that we have been, as a country,
sweaty Javed.
No, he's
vaccinations. But the one area where I think we just need to do more collectively is get more young people coming forward, and that's why I'm here at this fantastic vaccination centre today.
I want to listen to you.
We're making a huge effort in getting more young people through the door, especially that age group of 18 to 29. And what I would say to that group of people is, please get vaccinated for your own benefit, for your loved ones, but for your wider community. But as the
it's like a miniature, like he's got that miniature voice. Like he's been shrunk.
I want to tell you what to do. You want to do it.
September. We've picked September because everyone would have had the chance.
Who did that voice in the voice in the bag or voice in the?
Yes, the comedian, isn't it?
He talks like him.
By then,
my wife's mate can do that.
To have
like,
a double vaccination, that you will need to prove your vaccination status, and for young people, they should think of vaccines as being liberating.
But also, all these characters have vanished now.
Everyone wants to see a return to normal. We're on that journey to normal, and we're doing it because of the vaccines.
We're on a journey to normal.
Travel.
This is a part of it that frustrated me, right? Where you've got friends and family,
and that's the
who
way
would listen to this fucker and that other fucker
those young people
and Blonde. I'm not saying they should listen to me, right? Because I'm been notoriously labelled a fruitcake. But at this point, it kind of angered me a little bit, if I'm honest. The thing that made me angry about it was people are listening to people like that. Yeah, that entity and the other two entities. And you think, I don't understand why you're listening to these people.
He sounds like he's breathed in some of that
helium.
NASA helium.
Yeah, look at veins popping out of his little bell end head.
Yeah.
He's literally a bell end.
None of these people look like leaders at all.
Not at all. You know what? I remember saying that on our first podcast, Trevor, was you would not have a pint with any of these people, would you? And I still stick by that. And I know it sounds stupid and it sounds kind of shallow, but you do judge human beings on whether you'd like to sit next to them and speak to them and spend a moment with them. Yeah.
What about this guy? Would you sit next to him, Chris?
No, we're going to do what's right for public health, and I think that COVID certification in certain limited venues and for certain limited events is a way of making people safer and giving more of us more freedom. Well, for people who can't be vaccinated, I think that certainly mandatory testing is a useful tool in our armoury. But ultimately, if you can be vaccinated and you refuse to, that's a selfish act. You're putting other people's lives and health at risk. You should get vaccinated. Well, it depends obviously whether what part of the United Kingdom you're in or what the nature of the event is. But if you deliberately refuse to get vaccinated, and there are certain venues and certain events that require a certain level of safety, then the terms on which you will be able to get into those venues and those events. They'll be barred to you.
Like fucking Beaker off. Did you say that? Like Beaker off Muppet Show. You just know you'll be covered in fucking drizzle and spit, don't you? Talking to
No, I was in oh god, down one of the Devonshire coastal places, and yeah, he was there with a whole group of people, and this kid punched him in the face.
Who punched who?
Gove.
Him. Gove.
Was his hand wet after?
Well, and then they told him off. The kid. I couldn't understand it.
Right.
Oh, fucking! I should have got.
Yeah, but he was with them. He was the group, and Gove was holding this kid, and this kid slapped him.
Should have got a rosette.
I mean, you look at people like this.
Yeah.
Look at people like this here.
Hi, Gareth Southgate here. Just firstly, wanted to say thank you for the support you gave.
Oh, dearie me! Yeah.
Who's that?
But also to say, look, we know the last 18 months have been incredibly difficult for everybody, and there's no doubt
going on
the
his fucking railing
program
like a vampire.
Is our best route out of
every
this
tooth looks sharp.
Not only
you know when you bite your tongue,
but across the world.
Fucking cut it off.
So, just wanted
like a guillotine.
It's like a fucking.
It's telling everybody to get jabbed.
And get it done.
Yeah. What a great guy.
I know oldies like me have had both jabs, so
well done.
We can crack on with our lives. But
I cracked on with mine.
We all
cracked on with mine, funnily enough.
For everything to open up,
goofy
get your
twat.
freedom back.
Not even goofy, like chainsaw teeth.
So don't put it off any longer. Go and get it done. We can open everything up.
Go and learn.
We can protect the people we need to protect, and you guys will get your freedom back. So
don't bite your tongue, Gareth.
Thanks for that, Gareth. Yeah, thanks.
Don't bite your tongue.
We'll get freedom back on fucking Freedom Day.
Yeah.
See if you freedomed up your ass, Gareth.
All these videos, man. I wonder if any of them cringe. You know, when they. I know Matt Letizia were talking. He had a chat group on, I think, a WhatsApp group, and he said a lot of famous people were coming into his chat group.
Yeah.
No, not all of them. A few of them did. He said, but he can't name, obviously, some of the people that were
He did
there.
name some of them, Faye.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
No, he named the ones that left, but not the ones that stayed with him.
Yeah, that's right.
Going to affect my career, etc.
Yeah. The amount of pressure.
I know.
But if you were in a position of influence, right, and you weren't, even if you weren't sure that what you put out vocally is going to damage another human being, you just keep your mouth shut, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
until you knew.
They didn't know that though. This is what I mean. We give just because they're celebrities, they're not. They haven't.
Oh yeah. A lot of them would have been like.
They haven't got
The other side of that is Faye, is that a lot of them would have thought they were doing a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like
it's even more fucking worrying.
It is worrying, but like your neighbours and your family and your friends and stuff. Saying no, you must get the thing because that's what's going to make everything all right. So they were the same. They're only human out there, most of them, and they're telling you to do what they think is the right thing. And they think I'm in a position of influence, so therefore I'm going to push it because someone's come up and said it'd be really helpful if you pushed it. So you can see it, can't you? That they're not all malicious, evil, nasty bastards. The ones I have a problem with.
Beckham's the sharpest tool in the box, is he?
What do you mean?
Sorry,
PhD Beckham.
No. PhD Beckham. Yeah.
Not that I think a fucking PhD makes you smart, by the way. It just makes you more indoctrinated. But, yeah. But sorry, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
No, it's all right, Trev.
I'll play this other video just to annoy everybody.
You can create a digital ID today that is much more easily protected. So you
the original Gollum.
Privacy and surveillance issues that
they've all got high voices.
But it's a natural evolution
effeminate
of the way that we're going to use
got a butt plug up
technology
their
in
ass.
any event to transact the daily life. And this COVID crisis gives an additional.
They've been using the Excalibur fisting chair.
Just on the way over to kiss the wall in the glory hole.
Travel. I think people's disease.
Why would anyone listen to this
For
fucking
example, have they been tested?
rat?
What is the result of that test?
Good on my rat.
Look at his eyes.
Do they have the disease?
Look, move.
I think unless you're
No, he blinked then. He blinked upwards.
His eyes don't move.
No, but I mean, his eyes blink like a fucking lizard.
It's going to be difficult to go back to anything like a near normal in things like transport.
Right.
So if you're going to start
I'm definitely going to listen to a mass murderer who's killed 1 million people in Iraq. I want to take my advice from him. Without blinking.
I wonder how he sleeps on a night. I wonder how he sleeps on a night.
Like a fucking baby fire.
Yeah. Upside down. Upside down in a wardrobe.
His arms crossed.
I feel dirty now.
I've had to write 5 chapters in my book on him. Very telling. I'd say, I'm not saying they were all enjoyable because they're not, but they were. When we did that podcast, when I did the research for that podcast that we did, going back 5 years ago, whatever it was, that documentary that we did on Blair, that was the worst one I've ever done. But still, to this day, was the worst, most unnerving research that I've done. And just going back through the notes and adding more information to this, brought that back again. It wasn't a nice experience. The other ones weren't nice, but that one
could have all kiddie fiddling that happened to him.
It's more than that, though, because there's all of that, right? But it follows him even into his adult life. The guy that what do you call when you become Roman Catholic and consecrated or whatever? That's as religious I get. The guy, it was called something. He was a cardinal, and he was Cormac McCormack or something, an Irish guy, right? And he covered up a pedo in the 1980s and moved him to another church. And then when he was interviewed about him by the police, said he forgot that he was actually a weirdo. And it had been going on for 20 years that he knew about.
Right.
And he was one of Blair's like mentor type characters in his life. And this was when he was like Prime Minister. So
just think of the collateral damage around that. How many kids have been abused?
They were disabled kids.
It's just disgusting.
They were disabled kids.
Oh,
it was like what? And this guy's saying, "Oh, I forgot that. You know, I forgot that this guy."
Yeah. Oh, you forget that, wouldn't you?
But there were so many strange episodes of people that were in his. One of them, a guy called Cunningham, Baron Cunningham, an Irish guy, but he was obviously working for some kind of intelligence. Well, he did work for MI6 and MI5, and he was part of the Kincora boys home scandal, where they were taking boys from this Kincora to Brighton, and Mountbatten was taking him to his castle in Ireland as well. And this Cunningham used to go to the same school as Blair at a different time, and he used to go back and give Blair one-to-one business advice and stuff like that. It was, I've actually got the book here. I had to buy this Tony Blair book just to prove to myself that I'd read right online, that this guy had actually gone to his school. Because obviously, I'm writing something in a book. This is in a book saying this guy is there at his school giving one-to-one lessons to Blair. Blair...
Don falls asleep with that on his chest.
Yeah. But this guy hasn't been sued for this. This book's been out since late 1990s. He wrote this originally in 1995.
Sorry, I thought it was a biography.
Well, it is a biography, but I don't know if it's an official one or not. And he's kept re-releasing and updating it. I think this was one of the last ones, but it is like he was picked out from a very young age and nurtured. It's like he's had all these people nurturing him through.
Out of all the ones we've done, Fighter, the two that I think have been nurtured the most is him and Johnson.
Boris, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
literally nurtured into prime ministership.
There's 15 chapters.
And if you think, out of all the prime ministers in our lifetimes, the two that have done the two biggest things is Blair and Johnson.
Yeah, put Thatcher in there as well.
Yeah, you could put Thatcher in there a bit before my time, but if you think, but even more than Thatcher, because Blair did the Iraq War and Johnson did 2020.
Yeah, Thatcher did the first Gulf War, those well remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Blair was more Thatcher than Thatcher, wasn't he?
Yeah, again, hidden under that guise of I'm the nice guy.
Yeah,
the George Bush was the bad guy and Obama was the good guy who just did the exact same stuff.
But also the oddity is that his father, Blair's father, were originally communists, and even Blair read Trotsky and was a Trotskyite. That then. His dad then ran for Parliament, to be an MP in Scotland, a Conservative MP, from becoming a Trotsky to Labour to Conservative, and then he had a stroke, and this teacher at Blair's junior school, a mentor, this Reverend whatever he was, who was a known PDF file, he apparently comforted Blair while his dad had a stroke, age 40.
There's a euphemism for it.
Yeah. Stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, stroke. Yeah. Comforted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what a strange thing. So let's have a look at David.
But he really does look like a Gollum these days, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Him and oh God, Witty.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody's what we were just talking about there with Dave when Dave were in about being possessed and
embodying the possession.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't got fucking brilliant teeth, but it's like when they talk, they just look vampiric, don't they? You know, like it's like they're moving. You know, I don't know. Like
they've got no sincere empathy in their eyes, Chris.
No.
It is a strange.
He's responsible for killing at least 1 million people in Iraq. Now, if that was me, I can't even imagine if I'd damaged or hurt that many people, families, and shouldn't you just run away and hide under a rock?
Yeah, how are you still there telling people?
But then you think this is what'll happen with Johnson. He'll regurgitate in a few years, won't he? They'll leave it a while, then they come out as like
get knighted, won't it? Somebody will knight him or something.
Yeah, like this veteran politician from the old times, without even thinking of what really happened.
There are calls for him to come back. Honestly, Chris, there are calls for him to come back. That he'll come and sort it out. That Starmer's
he will come back. I guarantee he'll come back as something, some entity like Blair did. As the peace envoy for fucking Middle East. Are you joking?
Yeah.
I tell you what, a lot of the people that I've come across several people who were around Blair who were actually on the Reigns list. Two of his neighbours and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that all of that weirdness has followed him from being a child, followed him all the way through into Parliament.
Well, I think that is part of that system, part of their currency. Is that that's why none of them talk out about it. Like you always say, Blair's in a position. Blair and Johnson were in a position to out what happened to them when they were younger. The reason they don't is because that is just part of their system.
Yeah, they're all abused. They're all traumatized.
Yeah, and we'll never understand it. We can't understand it.
Well, Johnson wrote in his. He's got a blog site, and he wrote on there about corporal punishment, about being hit daily with a jockery bat, which I think is like a rounder's bat, a cricket bat, and he says something like, and believe it or not, a 9-iron golf club or something like that. He says.
I mean, we used to get slapped at school, but not to that level.
I mean, level. That is a different level. I have to have sympathy for them children because everyone thinks that these people have got privileged positions, but to go through all that's not a privileged position. That's
but also the fact that your parents are actually condoning it as well. So a lot of the parents have been through it, and then they're letting their kid go through it, which is not what a natural way of parenting is it?
It's like a self-perpetuating thing. Isn't it? Yeah. It's like, I used to think these people were privileged, but I don't think that anymore. I just think they kind of set up in this cycle to be traumatized and mind-fucked.
Yeah.
Like the stars that we watch on TV and films and stuff.
Yeah.
You start to have sympathy for him, don't you? You look into the hollow eyes of George Clooney, and you think, I'm not saying I know anything about him, but you look into his hollow eyes and you think he's a good actor, but what have they got on you? You do.
I mean, he comes from a good bloodline, let's say. So does his wife. She's part of some, I think, Lebanese fucking royalty. Also, she was a young global leader, a WF young global leader at some point. Yeah. She was Julian Assange's lawyer as well. At one point, yeah.
But when acting is just lying sincerely, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, acting.
So they're all capable of lying.
Yeah. Well, even Ben Affleck says they're all narcissists. Ben Affleck, I've got reports on Ben Affleck saying you've got to be a narcissist to be an actor.
And he looks like a troubled human being.
Yes. Yeah. I think his dad was an alcoholic and he kicked shit out of him.
I think he looks like a bit of a drinker. But when you look into Ben Affleck's eyes, you've got to feel sorry for him. They don't look like they're maliciously trying to take over the world or anything. a lot of those. I mean, look at that Ariana Grande when she's saying, "I don't remember half of the things I did, and I've got a few years." You know, you can't.
She had a proper glitch, didn't she? Like Britney Spears.
Yeah, and Katy Perry's eye flickering around. You can't hate these people, you know, no matter what they've been used to do. You can't help but have sympathy for them, can you? Not Blair, by the way.
What they've become, you can't have sympathy.
Like you said, Fight, you can have sympathy for the child, not for the adult, because at some point, if you're responsible, no matter what they've got on you, if you're responsible for the murder of millions of people,
they know.
There's got to be a conscientious.
Just like we're saying, just like I keep saying that, for all the bluster, for all the big fancy words that Boris Johnson speaks about, he never mentions what went on at his school. For all Blair's, even Gove's school, there were weirdos at his school.
Which makes you a spineless bastard, by the way, because you know that that's happening to new kids.
Yes.
Dozens and dozens of them.
Yes.
And you're in a position where you can actually stop it. You can stop what happened to you.
Well, I imagine all of these people generally become journalists so they could write in a newspaper. But Johnson was an MP and a mayor, right? And a cabinet minister before he became prime minister. Blair was all...
Have I got news for you?
Yeah, anyone on I've got news for you.
I was going to say that. They put him in front of everybody.
He got a BAFTA nomination for a
We've talked about this, Trevor. You could see the trajectory of them just positioning him up there, couldn't you?
Did you hear that bit in the... we're going to have to finish here. We've been on here 2.5 hours. Did you hear that bit on the Mike Williams one where I mentioned about a guy called Sir Charles Cornelius Wheeler, who was running Panorama, probably at the time when they ran that mescaline experiment trial.
Yeah.
He worked under Ian Fleming in. He was an intelligence asset in World War II. Then went to work for the BBC, as you do, and set Panorama up. He was one of the first producers of Panorama. Well, he was Boris Johnson's father-in-law, Marina Wheeler, who Boris Johnson's wife, who he'd had most of his kids to. That was her father.
Yeah.
And he was an intelligence. It's like, can you anyway.
It's a small club. We're not in, and we wouldn't want to be.
I wouldn't want to be in that club.
You don't need to make it up,
No, you don't need to make it up. It's there in front of you. Do you know when I say I know me and Chris laugh about it when I take my young and playing football and I'm talking to parents and they ask me stuff. They do start asking me stuff now, whereas they didn't before. But when I've
just got a vision of a line of people moonwalking backwards. As Dom's going, no.
Yeah, but when you mention stuff like that to them, they can't. They know that I've got proof of that. That I'm not going to just say that. You know, Boris Johnson's dad
Well, this is the fascinating, frustrating thing of being as insane as us three here are.
Yeah.
As they would say, is if someone was telling me something, I'd want to know. That's what's frustrating. I'd want to get to the bottom of it. Like I've said before, Fatty, on my
but that's weird.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
You can't.
Do you reckon?
You can't. But no, but that's why we three are here on this.
Yeah.
Because you can't wake up people with facts.
No.
That's what we've discussed.
My daughter's friend's mum, who I'm good friends with, and I really like her, she works for AstraZeneca, but she was lecturing me about getting the jab, right? About not agreeing with jib jabs, right? But the reason she was so wound up about it was because she'd watched an episode of House and on that show, a guy who'd got measles died, and they're all rushing around. You know, you've seen that comparison, haven't you, from 1950s, where they're like, "Oh, it doesn't matter."
It's because she saw it on the television.
She saw it on the television. But she's having a good. She's like not ranting at me, but she's kind of moaning at me about.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, but you got your information from a fucking TV episode of House.
Yeah.
With
you got yours.
What was his name in Blackadder? Percy from Blackadder, not Percy. Hugh Laurie. Hugh
Laurie, yeah. He went to Dragon School, did Hugh Laurie?
Yeah. Yeah, he did, yeah.
Oxford. And not only that, can you remember that film, that thing he was in, The Night Manager?
Yeah.
That was a John Le Carre book, wasn't it?
They've made a sequel to that, by the way.
But all three of the main actors that were in it all went to the Dragon School.
Tom Hiddleston
and the little
Hugh Jackman.
chubby guy. Hugh Laurie and the little guy, I forget his name now. But all of them went to Dragon School.
Right.
What was the Dragon School?
It's called. It's a part of Oxford. It's part. Oh, yeah. It's called the Dragon.
Is it the acting?
No, it's like the pre-Oxford school, like the junior type school. It's called the Dragon School, which a lot of big actors came from that school, and politicians and what have you.
Why would you choose to call it the Dragon School of all names?
Yeah.
We don't have to guess on that one, Chris. I don't think. All right, should we call it a day?
Yeah.
We're only going to come on for an hour.
I know. I really enjoyed that, though. I enjoyed that.
I did as well,
Yeah. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to...
Welcome anytime, Trevor.
Yeah, I think we should do a live one every now and again, Trevor, to be honest with you. I think...
yeah.
I enjoyed it. Because the first hour we do anyway, I'll just put this on as a podcast anyway. But...
I only expected to do an hour. I've been at work since 7 this morning.
Yeah.
And I haven't had my bloody tea yet.
Yeah, but great. Thanks, Dave, if you're listening. I also mentioned to FPV Angel about him bringing one of his presentations on and doing it live on here as well, Chris. That'd be an interesting one.
Well, we talked about...
What are they about?
Energy. He talks a lot about one of his big ones is rainbows, where the rainbows come from. It's fantastic information.
Well, it coincided with something we were talking to Lance about yesterday.
Yeah,
he was on about machines in the Antarctic that are actually running this. I mean,
somebody interviewed, wasn't it? They were saying that
But it was an interesting concept that there's machines in the Antarctic. That's why we can't go there, and they're actually running this simulation.
Yeah.
But I said when we were talking, it kind of coincides with what FP Angel says about underneath rainbows. There's machines controlling the Earth. I mean, it's out there, but it's fascinating.
But if you look at a rainbow, if you look at a rainbow, Trev, they appear in exactly the same place. This is what FPVs found out. They all appear in exactly the same place all the time.
Yeah, and the theory we get. The Cox version is it's an infraction of sunlight and water. Yeah, but his point is it's not. It's something underground that's sending this thing out, which is interesting because he's actually documented that rainbows appear in the same places over and over and over again.
Yeah. But if this is a simulation, it has to be a simulation of something.
Yes.
There has to be a base reality that it's a simulation of.
The bottom line of it is, who knows?
Yes.
But that's what makes life fascinating, isn't it? And interesting.
Yeah. Stay where you guys are. Stay where you guys are. Play the theme tune, sing the theme tune, write the theme tune out, and I better say, see you later, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
I'll be